You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. I am your host Craig. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. It's the day after the Reds beat Crystal Palace 2-0. The smile has not come off my face. I cannot lie to you people. I've been going around all day like the cat that got the cream, and why not? It's 2 games for Liverpool Football Club, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. What more do you want? We've got it all, absolutely everything that you could possibly want at the start of the season at Liverpool Football Club. Goalkeeper who thinks he's a fucking quarterback. He can ping balls left, right and centre. A defender who people scoffed when we spent 75 million on, and now it looks like a complete fucking bargain. I mean, I'm a happy dude right now. I can see from the chat as well that I've got some happy Reds to have a chat with tonight. As always, guys, this is your show. You let us what you want to talk about. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'll go straight into the chat. See how everybody's feeling tonight. I've no doubt they're going to be as happy as I am though. Dave's there. Hello Dave, Samian, Evan, Damo, Will, Alu, Paul, Thomas, Stephen, Mick, Marlon. Lots and lots of people. How the hell are you guys? Of course you can, Marlon, mate. Bear with me 2 seconds. There you go, sir. Thank you very much for your help the other day, by the way, Marlon. It's very much appreciated, mate. And if you'd ever like to get involved with us a little bit more, right, and just hit me up, buddy. You'll be most welcome. You are certainly a moderator there now, buddy. And again, thank you so much for your help the other day. We really do appreciate it. It did not go unnoticed there. Lots of love going your way, my friend. Evening Craig said Will. Evening all said Damo. Guys, what a start for the Reds. Seriously, what a start to the season. We cannot ask for any more than this. 2 games in, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, 6 goals. I don't know where else to start. I do not know where else to start because I'm fucking chuffed. I'm absolutely over the moon. I've been recording content all day for myself, for other people, writing stuff as well. It's just been all positive. I've been going around all day, happy. I did a marathon lot of work yesterday. I think I did about 6 hours worth of content, and I finished the day and I was still full of energy. It was nuts. I was absolutely drenched in sweat because it's roasting where I was, and excuse me for that, you didn't need to know that one, but guys, this Liverpool team, what about it? Seriously, what about this team? Dirty Girl said good evening to everybody. Salah didn't have his shooting boots last night, but did have a hell of a lot of hard work, said Stephen. Marlon said, thanks Craig, do you think Liverpool will go unbeaten this season? I don't know, mate. It's a big ask, but we do what we do. We just keep going, mate. Take one game at a time and plug it away at it. I've set myself a figure of 90. I set myself, like I'm fucking involved in this. I've set Liverpool a figure of 90 points, Marlon, that I'd like to see us try and go after this season. And the mad thing is that may not be enough for Liverpool to even win the league, but if we can aim for 90 points and we go higher, great. But I think that has to be the kind of level we're aiming to achieve. What do you think, Marlon, mate? Would you like to see... Well, obviously you'd like to. Do you think Liverpool can go all season unbeaten? I mean, it's only been done once by the Invincibles, by Arsenal. And do you know what? If I'm being honest, I put what Manchester City did last season above that Invincible season. Because they put more points on the board. It's as simple as that. For me, that Manchester City last season, that season that they had, was the most impressive one to date in the Premier League. I can understand Arsenal fans. Tell me I'm an idiot. Arsenal went unbeaten. Fair enough, that is true. But if you're going purely on points earned in the season, then Manchester City have it. Salah got 2 assists at the same time, said Mick last night. DJ Chris has been smiling all day at work. I don't blame you, mate. We're all like the cats that got the cream. It's only the start. You know, we do have to pinch ourselves every so often and tell ourselves to relax here. It's only 2 games in, but you know what? As mad as it sounds, this is the first time that Jurgen Klopp has won his opening 2 games per season with Liverpool Football Club yet, so he's not here that long, but you know, every little thing we can tick off the list, every little thing we can push to one side and move along and take a step forward, then all the better for it. Robert Coggins has joined us, mate. Welcome. Virgil van Dijk on the verge of legendary status, baby, said Dave. I mean, I'm with you, brother. I am with you. I heard Jamie Carragher talking about him already, and he's already trying to describe him as being alongside Jockey. Like, I mean, to put him alongside Alan Hansen already, or even in that conversation, lets you know how. And Jamie Carragher being a legendary legendary centre back at Liverpool Football Club, already comparing Virgil van Dijk to the likes of Alan Hansen, it does let you know the calibre of player that we have. I mean, people scoffed at the 75 million. All of us, myself included, said that's a fucking high figure. Let's be honest, that's a high amount of money. We're probably paying a little bit of a tax on that for what happened with Southampton, but who gives a shit at this moment in time, guys? Who gives a shit? 75 million seems like an absolute bargain. El Chapo is in the building. Good evening to you, sir. Where are we? This damn chat, guys, it's going to be the death of me. Gareth said, out of the new signings, which one has impressed you the most? It's a good question, sir. It's a very good question. Let me have a little think. Oh, the new signings. I have to say Naby, mate. I have to say Naby. I want to say ALISSON, but he had nothing to do in the first game. And while he was impressive yesterday, I think KEITA has been impressive for 2 games in a row. Purely if we're just going off the new signings, it's impossible to say with Fabinho, of course. And Shaqiri has only played, you know, a very, very few amount of minutes competitively for Liverpool. So for me, mate, so far it's Naby, KEITA, but I think all of those signings are going to be tremendous pieces of business by Liverpool Football Club. And said, hi Craig, hope you've had a good day up the Reds. It's been a blinder, mate. Thank you very much. I've had an excellent day. There's more football on the TV as well, so it's always good, buddy. Always good when there's football on, the sun is shining, the family are happy. What more can a man ask for? Liverpool will outrun United, said Redman. Damn right we will. United are, look, it's not our place to talk about them, but things don't look rosy in the garden of Jose. Let's just leave it at that. Hi Craig, Van Dijk was a monster last night. We can only get better. Excuse me, says Stephen Dwyer. He was, mate. He was an absolute beast, a colossus. Use any word you want. Insert it in there. It'll fit perfectly. The dude was one hell of a player. But you know what? There was a few more performances there last night. And I want to have a little chat about Gini Wijnaldum because it's easy for us to overlook him. You heard me come on and talk about James Milner. We had a James Milner appreciation night here on the stream. We spoke about Naby Keita. I just spoke about him there as well. But you know what? Gini Wijnaldum has gone about his business very, very well since he's been given a chance by Jurgen Klopp at the start of the season. And it's no accident that Jurgen Klopp kept him in after his performance against West Ham. And it's going to be tough for anybody to dislodge him now, again, or any of those 3 midfielders, because I thought they all put in an excellent performance. In saying that, I thought Jordan Henderson did look very good when he came on as well. He was barking instructions. He was trying to dictate the flow of the game, take the sting out of it when needed, play short passes, keep it safe, and then he was able to build up and quicken the tempo when needed. So many options for the gaffer, so many brilliant options, so many smiles, so many good headaches, so much for us to talk about. Junior said, I rated Van Dijk at Southampton, but I didn't know he was such a leader. Peter said, good evening to everybody. Robert said, as long as we stay on the heels of City all the way, I'll be happy to shut up the haters. Fuck the haters, mate. You know at this point. You know my beautiful answer to the haters. No way is Van Dijk as good as Alan Hansen or Crazy Horse. Nobody said he was as good yet. I said he was being compared to or being spoken about in the same breath as Garvett. Relax. There's plenty of time for him to get to that status. Mick said, I think we can go unbeaten at home, but it's a tough league to go unbeaten all season. Just turn some of the draws from last season into wins and we'll be doing well. The most we have got in the Premier League was 86. We did go unbeaten at home last season in the Premier League, in fairness, so we should be definitely looking to at least replicate that as Mick has said. So yeah, I agree, mate, but turning the draws into wins is something that we have to do a little bit more of. Should have got James Maddison and got Lallana Sol this summer, said Junior. The James Maddison thing was tough because when we were looking at him, and we were linked quite heavily to him before the summer, he did pick up an injury right at the end of the season for Norwich, and maybe that wasn't as bad as was originally thought, but from my understanding of it at the time, he could have been out longer than he was. Leicester obviously took the gamble on him, and you know he's looked like a very good player for them, but I agree. I mean, I have to be honest, Junior. I do agree. I would have probably moved on Lallana myself, but you know what? I'm not at all disappointed that he's here. It's a great option for the manager to have. I just don't think Lallana looks up to speed just yet. And why would he be? He hasn't had much competitive game time since he's come back from injury. Imran straight in saying Verge is now worth 150 mil, and do you know what? I don't think we'd sell him at that. I don't. At this moment in time, I don't think 150 million buys Virgil van Dijk. I just don't. Other fans could come on here and call me a fucking bald egg, idiot, nonce, whatever they want to call me, but I don't think Liverpool Football Club sell Van Dijk for that price. And I'm not suggesting that you think we should, Imran, mate, but that's how highly I rate him at this. Frankie is straight in. Frankie B, no fucking about. He's saying hit that like button, guys. Smash that like button. And if you are watching, guys, please don't forget the subscribe button. It can be your friend, you know. Robert said, can you see the bearded one winning the Golden Glove this season? He's off to a fucking perfect start. Anyway, Robert, isn't he? 2 games in, 2 clean sheets. Nobody else has done that in the Premier League so far, so it's early days. But you know what? Why not? Why not? With the defence we're putting in place in front of him. Virgil van Dijk obviously being the leader that he is. Young Alexander-Arnold doing really well. Andy Robertson being excellent as well. And Joe Gomez slotting in seamlessly beside Virgil van Dijk yesterday. I mean, these are all positives. And we're right to be talking about aiming really high and hoping for the best, because that's what we should always be aspiring to. So I'll never slag anybody for wanting us to go for a perfect season, or for us to win the Golden Boot, or for a goalkeeper to win the Golden Gloves, because that's what we should be aspiring to. Looking forward to Roy flat out refusing to accept any dodgy penalties that Zaha wins. Surprised Roy hasn't refused previous dodgy penalties, given how angry he was last night. I wound myself up a little bit last night. I went and had a look on a few threads on Twitter, which I shouldn't have done. I hate going down that rabbit hole, but I ended up in that rabbit hole last night, and I went down. I was looking at a few conversations of Crystal Palace fans. Now obviously they're going to be unhappy about the penalty. I think we can understand that they have a right to be angry, but if it was us, if we're being honest, we'd probably be a little bit upset. But let's push the penalty to one side just for a minute, because there was one comment that really got me last night in one of the threads. So it read something along the lines of, what's the young guy's name? Let me remember his name. The guy who got sent off. What's the dude's name? Where's his name? Yeah, so Wan-Bissaka. So the thread went, surely Wan-Bissaka is going to have his red card overturned. And I'm thinking, are you fucking serious? Like, surely this lad's on a wind-up. I'm going to keep reading the thread. So I went down through the thread, and it was all Palace fans going, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that'll be a no-brainer for the Premier League. That will definitely be overturned. And I'm thinking, do these lads know the rules of the fucking game? I mean, dude was clean through on goal, was completely taken out of it, clear as you like, red card without a shadow of a doubt. And these guys are thinking to themselves that it's going to be rescinded. I mean, look, we're all fucking hypocrites. We're all football fans. We all, think one decision's fine for us and one isn't fine for another. But even the most biased of Crystal Palace fans, surely to God, can see that was a nailed-on red card. And I don't want to slag the young guy, because I thought that Wan-Bissaka guy was immense. He looks like a very, very good footballer, and he looks like a great find for them. But I mean, come on, it's fucking clear as day that was a red card. ALISSON is going to prove a bargain, said Imran. Dirty Girl said Jeannie was brilliant. And what was the other part of her comment? Sorry, the chat skipped again on me. Where are we? Jeannie was brilliant. I'll say it again. It reminds me of, I don't know. I'm not going to say it for you, so you can come back and give us that comment. Benfica drew 1-1 at home to PAOK, which is a brilliant result for Liverpool, because if Benfica fail to get to the group stages, Liverpool will be in pot 2, but if they do get there, Liverpool will drop into pot 3, says Ryan Caulfield. I did notice that result, Ryan, just before I came on. It was actually 1-0 to Benfica, the last I'd seen, and then I just checked the full-time result, and I was quietly surprised and pleased to see that PAOK had gotten an equaliser. So, as you've rightly said, that could have it could mean quite a lot to Liverpool if PAOK can get a result at home and knock Benfica out. That would certainly help us, would put us into pot 2. But you know what, mate? We can fucking beat anybody. It doesn't matter what pot we're in. Put us in pot 3. I guarantee you no teams in pot 2 or pot 1 are going to want to come near us. Paul said, hi Craig, hope you're fine as dandy. ALISSON money well spent. Absolutely. It's already starting to repay itself. And I'm going to say it again. It's brilliant that Chelsea went out and signed Kepa, because it took all the pressure off us. All the pressure off Alisson's shoulders. No longer being the world's most expensive keeper. He can just go about his job, and he has been. He's been immense since he's come in. But we'll get to it later on, because I do want to have a chat about his distribution yesterday, because I could do an entire podcast or an entire stream on his distribution. I mean, it's what I was banging the drum and screaming all summer for. It's why I said I want Alisson Becker. Yeah, there's better keepers out there, maybe shot stoppers, but I want Alisson Becker, and we'll get to it a little bit later on. Our midfield players are too good, said Ryan. It's a good complaint to have, Ryan, isn't it? I mean, what a selection. I went through them there for a podcast that we did earlier on. I'll pull the list up here again. Not that you guys don't know who we have on our team, but just because it makes for nice reading. So we've got Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho, James Milner, Adam Lallana, Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and look, if you include Shaqiri as an attacking mid, although yes, he can be included as a wide forward as well. That is some selection of midfielders there for Jurgen Klopp to pick a three from. Not many managers in the Premier League have that riches of talent that he has there, and nearly every one of those players as well can play in numerous positions in the midfield, or even a little bit further forward or further defensively. It's a wealth of talent there for the manager, and it's making this idiot smile. I can't stop, guys. I need to apologise. I'm on here, I'm buzzing, I'm almost like I'm after fucking taking drugs or something. I'm still so high from that Reds result from the start of the season that we've had. It's so good. I'm dreading the day I have to come on here if we lose a game, guys, because I don't know how to react. I've only ever come on here and been positive and been happy about what's gone on since we've started doing streams. Mad to think we didn't have Lovren, Klein, Fabinho and Chamberlain with his injury. Not bad, this strength and depth since we've done the treble, said and Lovren will struggle to get back into this team, said Junior, and rightly so. I'm a firm believer in somebody who has the jersey having to, make a mistake or having to lose that shirt. Once he keeps performing, for me, he should keep the shirt, and Joe Gomez, so far so good. I think secretly, I just have a feeling that deep down, I always thought that Jurgen Klopp did want that to be the partnership. He wanted Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk to play alongside each other. Everything he's spoken about Joe Gomez throughout the summer and stuff seems to suggest that is what he had in his head. You're still staying in mind for the McGregor fight, Craig. Phil Babb's coming, said Michael Marney. Don't remember saying I was staying in yours for the McGregor fight, mate, but we can definitely talk about that one a little bit further along. I can't wait for that fight as well. KEITA will get lots better, said Peter. That's scary to think, isn't it? That's scary to think that the level he's already started at, and we know that he has a few more gears in him, Peter, so it is scary. I still can't get over that Cruyff turning that ball over the top to Salah last night. That was football porn right there. And I've very rarely ever been disappointed in Mo Salah, but the fact that he didn't put that in the back of the net and give us a gift that we could have watched for years was very fucking frustrating, because what a turn, what vision, what a pass. Great control as well by Salah. It was just the finish that was lacking. James said, agreed, Gomez and Van Dijk is a good partnership. Junior said, Keita's only 23. How mad is that? Only 23. Like, the dude has probably 4 years before he hits his peak. It is scary to think how good Naby Keita could become. Van Dijk won every challenge in the air, said Lalu, which is no mean feat to be going up against Christian Benteke, who's shite on the ground. Like, let's call a spade a spade. He's fucking awful on the ground, but aerially Christian Benteke is up there with the best of them, and he was excellently marshalled yesterday by Virgil van Dijk. It was like there was a magnet on his head. Every time he went up for an aerial duel with Benteke, he was getting the better of him, and I was so impressed with Big Virg yesterday, and just the calmness. He's just calmness personified. Never looked flustered, never looked like things were getting on top of him. He just oozes calm. Mick said, off to Tato Park tomorrow, Craig. This is turning into a good week. Enjoy it, buddy. Enjoy it. And I recommend the Sippy Cup that I have as well. It's very good value for money at just $6.99. But have a good day, Mick, yourself and the family, if you head off to Tato Park. Enjoy yourselves. I had a good day out there with the family recently, so I hope you do too. Kieran said, I honestly doubt VVD would want to leave anyway. I agree. Who would want to leave this team at this moment in time? I mean, we're going places. Far Isle said, sorry, didn't get notification. As I say, buddy, all the time, you never have to apologise. You coming on here is always a privilege for us, so never apologise if you're late or you're delayed getting on. It's just great to see you guys here night after night. Pepper Red is in. Good evening, sir. Your sixth sense must have kicked in, Far Isle, said Damo. There you go. I mean, we're here now, mate. We're here already. We're only here a few months, but already we're in sync. Gomez played well, but I could play alongside Van Dijk, said Gareth. I've no doubt Van Dijk could get the best out of you, Gareth, mate. I've no doubt about it. Guys, what's going to be the score? against Brighton on Saturday. Give us some predictions, says Gary. Oh, it's a bit early for that one, Gary, but I've got to be honest, if we don't fucking batter them 3 or 4-0, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. It fucking feels horrible and arrogant to be on here saying that, but do you know what? We have to do it just to show the Manx that to fucking beat them. I mean, yeah, we're at home, the Manx are away, but you know what? We're capable of putting anyone to the sword, so these players are going to want to keep their positions. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, we're going to be looking at that game and going, could be a goal bonus in there for me. The missus could be getting a new kitchen, so do you know what? I think they're going to be up for it, and I think, again, we've got to be aiming for another clean sheet as well. Although Glenn Murray, to be fair, he can be a handful on his day, but Big Verge will put him in his pocket. Lalu said the assist King Milner will start the next game. The Brighton game can come quick enough to keep this momentum going, said Anthony. And yeah, you're right. It's only Saturday now, which is great. So we've only got what? Tonight's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 more days. It's great. Not like the 8 days we had in between the West Ham and the Palace game. Bobby should be rested for Sturridge. I think Henderson might start instead of Fabinho. But Shaqiri should also start, said El Chapo. Again, it's all about horses for courses, decisions that the manager has. He'll be looking ahead, no doubt, to the international window and what players will be going away and what players will be staying. So there's a lot of things that will be in the manager's mind when he's making these decisions, but first and foremost it'll be looking ahead to what's best for Liverpool Football Club and what's the best 11 to go and get a result. Chat's coming thick and fast tonight, guys, which is brilliant. Great to have so many of you guys in. Guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. You guys know we don't like to ram the finances down your throat. We don't like to sell you stuff on here, and we don't like to beg. It's not our way. So I'm just going to drop the PayPal details and stuff into the chat. If you do want to help us out and keep us ticking along till we get sorted by YouTube, then please do so. It is now in the chat, and I'm not going to ram it down your necks because it just doesn't feel right. Garrett said, Alisson worth 67 million. What would Peter Shilton be worth? You do love doing this to me, Gareth, mate. You do love going old school and giving me players that were class back in the day. I don't know, mate, but again, just like you were saying the other night about Big Nev, Peter Shilton was a tremendous goalkeeper. Absolutely tremendous. So, tough one, mate. Yeah, I don't know is the honest answer. A shit ton of money. That's one thing I will say. Jack Gill is in. The Brighton game is going to be a lot tougher than we think, especially after the win against United on Sunday. Don't underestimate them, said Jack Gill. Jack Gill, our very own Jack Gill, by the way, guys, in case anybody is wondering. So I should really make Jack a mod, shouldn't I? Because he's one of our own. Jack just literally finished recording a podcast with me as well before we came on this week's Between the Lines podcast. So there was myself, Jack, Christian and Dave on there, and that one will be up and available for you guys on both the podcast apps and on the YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, sometime around then. Gareth, can you stop, mate? What would Van Basten be worth? And when I say stop, I mean stop because they're two good questions, not because you're annoying me, mate. Van Basten, I don't know, mate, but I tell you what, I'd love him in our team. Marco Van Basten was all around quality. Such a shame that injury finished his career early because he was unbelievable. Charlene is in. Charlene, my friend, how the hell are you? Great to have you back. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're a bit more chipper today as well. I know you said you were struggling a little bit lately, my friend, and I was thinking of you yesterday and hoping that you woke up today and things were feeling a little bit better for you, my friend. We're always here for you. We're always thinking of you, and thank you for joining us again on the stream. There's only one Basaka. I'm trying my best not to butcher that one, Damo. I got the joke, mate, but sometimes I just can't deliver the punchline well. Lalu said United fans are going bonkers. I love it. I wish I had the button there for bonkers to just drop in when you were saying that, because I felt like that's what it needed. I felt like it needed to drop a bit of Dizzy Rascal on there, but you know, live I don't have these buttons available to me. Junior said Hendo probably gets the nod alongside Millie and Genie. Obviously Naby, but wanted to see if Shaqiri wanted to see Shaqiri because we didn't create much against Palace. Do you know what, Junior, mate? I want to ask you guys this question as well. So when we made our substitutions yesterday, and I want to focus particularly on the one where we brought on Adam Lallana, was anybody else a little bit confused as to why that wasn't Shaqiri or why we brought in Lallana. I mean, maybe it was just me. I know one of the guys said it on the pod. I can't remember if it was Christian or if it was Jack, but somebody said it on the pod as well. A little bit confusing maybe why Lallana came on. It would have seemed like a perfect time to bring on Shaqiri, because at that point we were still 1-0 up. Obviously we hadn't got the second. Palace were looking to press a little bit, and you know, we were getting space in behind, which was, you know, clearly proven by the goal we got at the end. Dirty Girl reckons we're winning the Champions League this year. Why not? Why not? We can do it. No surer thing than we can do it. Aaron said everybody is scared of us. Hell yeah, mate. Hell yeah, they are. And they've every fucking reason to be as well, because we're fucking brilliant. We are mustard, my friend. Recessionizer said, good evening all. Looks like we're getting the decisions this year, unlike last campaign. And already, mate, already, as you say that, we're starting to get a couple of decisions go our way, and already opposition fans are losing their fucking minds, calling us cheats, saying that the referees are giving us everything. They just conveniently forgot the amount of times we were robbed last season. That doesn't come into their minds though, because it doesn't suit their agenda. Robert is having a little chat about the penalty incident, or not the penalty incident, excuse me, the red card incident, and he said last man, it was from behind. No matter who it is making the challenge or who was on the ball or what league it's in, it's a straight red, simple as that. It's laughable for anybody to say otherwise. El Chapo is going with his team against Brighton to be Alisson, Trent, VVD, Gomez, Robbo, Hendo, Naby, Shaqiri, Salah, Sturridge and Mane. It's a pretty good team, to be fair. I wouldn't be at all upset if that was the team that took the field. Will said, Alisson completed 31 of his 33 passes. That's absolutely mental. His distribution is the best in the league, hands down. We did get a good little glimpse yesterday of it, didn't we? There were times I was just sitting there when he was picking up the ball and the camera couldn't show, like he'd kicked the ball and you could see it was a long kick, but the camera hadn't quite shown yet that the ball was going to, you know, go out to Trent or go out to Robbo. But every single time, just bang, 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 straight to feet, straight to his chest. It was just pitch perfect. It was like having Xabi Alonso back there, just pinging balls left, right and centre. I mean, wow. I thought wow is about all I can say. Alisson yesterday was, you know, he showed why we paid what we did for him. And both from a, you know, from a shot stopping sense and of course from a distribution sense. Marlon said, Craig, who would you say was the most underrated player at Liverpool in the last 5 years? Excellent question, buddy. The underrated player at Liverpool in the last 5 years. I'm trying to think of players that are around that long. Do you know what? It's actually pretty easy for me. Henderson, hands down. I'm sick of people underrating Jordan Henderson, so I'm going to say Jordan Henderson, mate. I think people don't realise that the job he's been asked to do is a very, very tough job, and a job that you don't get many plaudits for a lot of the time. So I know it might be something that divides fans on here, but I'm going to go with Jordan Henderson. But I would love to know who yours is, mate, so please do let me know in the chat. Alisson would have dealt with Maradona, said Pepper Red. He might have been otherwise engaged if his recent activities is anything to go by. You sue purple, Craig. Thanks, Jack. I told you on the pod, mate. I have my Naby KEITA 8 shirt on. I wasn't lying to you. We spoke about him on the pod, and I was saying, you know what, guys, I'm sitting here recording this pod in a Naby KEITA 8 shirt. That's how much I love the dude. Damo said, hey Jack, enjoying your videos and articles, great addition to the Anfield Agenda family. So very nice of you to say that, Damo, and I'm sure Jack very much appreciates your kind words. Shilton would be worth 300 million, said Gareth. Line up for Brighton, Craig, if any, said Antico. Who am I bringing in? I'd probably like to see Shaqiri get a run out. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'd probably go same back five, including the goalkeeper. Midfield of Naby, Hendo and Shaqiri. And then I'd probably agree with what people have said. Maybe give Firmino a rest and play Sturridge ahead of him, because doesn't he have the international call-up as well to come with Brazil? So there'll be a lot of miles covered there. So yeah, I can understand. The midfield is always going to be the tough one as the season goes on, because if we're being honest, none of our midfielders deserve to lose their place at this moment in time. Luke is in. Good evening, mate. Great to have you with us. Alisson's mental picture of the players on the field is mad because he's a breeze under pressure making a pass. I think that's something I spoke about yesterday a lot with our fullbacks. It didn't matter if it was Alisson, it didn't matter if it was Naby Keita, it didn't matter if it was Wijnaldum, it didn't matter if it was Milner, it didn't matter if it was one of the centre backs. Every time they just need to turn and play the ball out wide, they knew that one of our fullbacks were going to be there ahead of play. They were an option for the players every single time. And yes, we can say that maybe the final ball wasn't great yesterday from Trent or from Andy Robertson, but they were an option every single time during that game for the players, and they really did stretch the pitch very well. Especially against a team like Crystal Palace, who were looking to, play compact, 2 banks of 4, not leave any space in behind. It was up to us to try and make that pitch big, drag them over, play side to side, create gaps. And I thought we did that quite well yesterday. Just seen Andros Townsend by ours, Craig. He's gone down to the shop that KEITA sent him to. That was unbelievable. But and to be fair to Andros Townsend, look, he was made a mug of there, let's be honest. But that strike by him, that hit the crossbar, that was a tremendous strike. And of course it came from a misplaced pass by Naby Keita, but I mean it was a great strike. What's the deal with Fabinho? Is it a tactical issue, said Kangozzi. I've seen somebody say he picked up a slight knock and it was precautionary. I haven't personally read that anywhere yet. I'm just going off what somebody else said to me. Even King Kenny had bad games, although not many, says Gareth. 2020 Champions League final is in Istanbul. That Lewis just reminding us. Yeah, they finally finished that fucking stadium, by the way. The Ataturk Stadium in Istanbul. If you've seen it now, it's finally been finished. And it looks a lot better than when I was there in 2005. Alisson might as well bring a newspaper because he has nothing to do. He had a little bit to do yesterday, and he did it very well. The Walrus was Paul. I love that name. That's a fucking excellent name. I get this giddy feeling whenever I see sporting brilliance, i.e. Usain Bolt. Liverpool are giving me that feeling. It's a beautiful feeling, Mr. Walrus. It's a beautiful feeling. VVD, best centre-back in the league. Short and sweet from Aaron Stairs. And to the point and spot on, my friend. Is KEITA an all-rounder or attacking midfielder? He's absolutely an all-rounder, dirty girl. He can play in the 6. He can play in the 8. He could probably play the 10, but it wouldn't be his best position. I'd say he's the complete 8, is how I'd describe him. He is an all-around, complete number 8 that can do absolutely anything in that midfield. Owen said, Craig, Alisson's passing range is something I've never seen from a keeper before. He's sick. It is. It reminds me, I keep saying this, but it reminds me of peak Pepe Reina. Reina was equally as good with the ball at his feet, if we're being honest. He was unbelievable. And it's great to see that back. What an outball that is for the players to have, and what a way to start attacks as well. Jurgen Klopp must be just thinking, we definitely made the right call there. We definitely made the right call bringing this dude in. Garrett said, I'm looking forward to the derby games. Everton are dark horses this season. Dark horses for what? Because surely to God, it's not going to be for the league, mate. Let's be realistic there. Dark horses to give us a game? Perhaps. I mean, I'll give you that one. At goodest, you may put up a bit of a better fight than you have in recent years, but let's be honest. Liverpool are going into those games as the favourites, and rightly so, if we're being honest. Van Dijk will defend the earth against Apophis. I don't get that. Well, maybe that's, a sci-fi joke or something that goes over my head. It could even be Game of Thrones. I don't know. Alisson goal is like having Alonso on goal. Yeah, I'm defo on that one. Redman said 5-0. 5-0 against Brighton, which is a nice prediction. And do you know what? I would tell you at times that you're a little bit mental or you're a little bit, too optimistic. But do you know what? Fuck it, we're capable of that. That's how good this Liverpool team are. Sorry guys, I'm drinking a lot tonight, but I'm roasting. I won't even tell you guys the amount of diet chav we've gone through in this house over the past couple of weeks. It's a lot. Let's just put it that way. We've certainly exceeded the amount of cans that we thought we'd drink. 101 people watching and only 4 likes. What the fuck is happening, says Robert. Come on guys, if there's 101 of us watching, we can all hit that like button at least once. hit the like button, get the likes up, get us suggested. As we keep saying, we are a community-based channel. We are here to reach every red that we can, to bring as many people into the Anfield Agenda family as we can, to get them involved in the chat, to get them onto the website, to get us all interacting together and enjoying what is going to be one hell of a ride under Jurgen Klopp. So do hit that subscribe button, guys, please. Do hit that like button, and don't forget to jump on to anfieldagenda.com, create your free membership, and get on there and chat with other Reds. There's lots and lots for us to come. There's articles on there, there's quizzes on there, you've got the chat room on there, all our podcasts, all our YouTube content, everything is on there in one handy little place. And as I keep saying, the next project for us, fingers crossed, when we get everything sorted, the next project will be an Anfield Agenda app, which is where my head is. I'm not going to lie. I love the idea of having everything in one handy little app. Brandon said, "Hi Craig, love the purple kit." I have to be honest, Brandon, when this kit first came out, I said there is no way I'm wearing a purple kit. There's no fucking chance in hell that I'm buying a purple kit. Then I bought it for my son, and I seen the little dude running around in it, and I thought, do you know what, that ain't bad. The orange writing on the back of that shirt is quite tasty. Do you know what, I might get myself one. And then I got the £10 code when I bought it from the club shop for my son. We got a £10 discount code, and I thought, oh, do you know what, I might just do it. So I pulled the trigger, and I still don't think it suits me, but it's a nice shirt and I like bright colours, so why not. Callum said, "I'd stick with the same 11 we've been playing. Hopefully Brazil's manager gives Bobby a rest in one of the games." Touching on that, actually, Jack made an excellent point on our podcast in that none of the Manchester City players have been called up to the Brazil squad, which is interesting to say the least. Jack reckons there's something going on, that there's something stinks there, and that Pep might have had a word. It's not for me to say, but it's a very interesting theory, and it is strange, to be honest, that not one of the Manchester City players have been called up to the Brazil squad. Very strange indeed. Pepper Red said, "Where is this comment gone? Everton will try to attack. Can their defence cope with ours?" he asks Gareth Phillips. Would love to see a team of the best players under 25 versus the best players over 25. It would be so interesting to watch. That's a really interesting theory. That's a really good shout, mate. It would be interesting to see whether enthusiasm and energy could win over guile and pitchcraft. So yeah, that's a really good shout. I'd like to push the age up a little bit though, if I could be a little bit greedy, and push it up to say 27. Because that's the peak. So I'd like to see players just under their peak and players just over. I suppose the peak does depend on what position you're in. It does vary as you go through the field. It's going to be very hard for Lovren to slot back into that defence, as Gomez has been intense. His last ditch tackle on Zaha. He's been excellent. He's been absolutely excellent, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. Last season we accused him a couple of times of being caught out with the ball over his shoulder, and he was, to be fair, but he looks like he's learned. He's worked hard in the summer to get back to fitness, and having a partner like Virgil van Dijk is perfect for him. Where else are we? Do you think Liverpool will continue to invest big on new players over the next few seasons, or will they have to sell to balance the books? Asks Ian Turlington. I think what happens at times, Ian, when you either get a new manager or new owners into the club and they have big ambition, is a lot of the time these owners front load, so that they spend a shit ton of money to try and get the best players in at the start, and then they look to maintain as we go on. So when Kloppo came in, we had a little bit of selling on some players, we had a little bit of spending money. We were I think we were averaging out at about 30-40 million a year net spend, something like that. Now this summer we've gone out and we spent 170 odd million quid, but let's not forget we took in 140 odd million quid for Philippe Coutinho. So our net spend again, and I don't like to talk about net spends because I don't feel qualified enough, to talk about football finances because they're very complex. But I don't think we've actually shelled out that much money, is the honest answer, Ian. And I also don't think we're going to need to continue to shell out much more money going forward. If we can keep this group of players together, then it's only going to be a matter of, freshening things up, bringing in one or two bodies every year. And yes, you're going to naturally have players moving on, whether that be because the calibre of the squad steps up and players that originally could fight for a place in there might fall away a little bit, or players who just aren't getting enough game time want to move on. Then you have players that are ageing as well, like Clavan, that want to get game time at the end of their career. So there's always going to be a little bit of change, but as you've suggested there, I don't think we're going to see many huge summers like where we spend close to 200 million quid again, because hopefully we won't have to. Hopefully it's just a case of we have a great team, we add one or two quality players each summer, and we go forward from there, because that's the position we've always been chasing to be in. We always seem to be 3-4 players away from being perfect or where we wanted to be, and now we're pretty much there, bar maybe one or two little niggly bits. Is it just Diet Chav, Craig? It is. I can guarantee you that. I don't actually drink, so it's definitely Diet Chav. What do you think of Spurs maybe having to give City 3 points and a 3-0 because they don't have anywhere to play? The stadium's not finished and Wembley is occupied that day by the NFL. It's madness. I haven't read into it enough to know what the exact ins and outs of it are. I was aware that there was an NFL game that day and that Spurs couldn't play there. I'm not aware as to the rules. Can they or can they not play in another stadium in the same season then? Are they going to have to look for an exemption from the Premier League? Or I'm unaware, but look, if they have to give up a 3-0 win to Manchester City, that's some kick in the fucking nuts, isn't it? To be fair. Craig, this guy is still making accounts. Be careful, Craig, you might have a stalker. Who's that? The Revenite mate, which guy is this? Oh, was it Craig SALAH? Is that the guy? Oh, fuck it. If I have a stalker, so be it, man. If he's going to stick a knife in my back, let him stick a knife in my back. There's not much I can do about it. I don't worry about things like that, to be fair, mate. I don't worry about things I've got no control over. And that's why I have you guys in there being mods as well. You can keep booting these idiots out and let them waste their time setting up new accounts. I've decided I'm going to be a different Craig from here on in. I'm going to try my best not to interact with trolls too much. I realise at times I can come on here and lose my head a little bit of trolls and tell people to fuck off a lot of the time or jump on people. I probably shouldn't be doing it. I should probably concentrate on you guys, the people who actually care, the people who are here trying to interact properly. So all I can promise is I'll try my best. Occasionally I probably will lose my mind though a little bit because that's me. You guys know me at this point. Jesus, Craig, Anfield Agenda growing fast, 3,547 subs, well done from Dave. Thank you, mate. It's great to see. I'm blown away by the support we've had since we've started. I'm not going to lie, I'm constantly checking the numbers, Dave. It's the most important thing to me at this moment in time with regards to a channel is podcast numbers or subscribers to the YouTube channel, but we're only going to keep growing if people come and like what we do, and amazing people like yourself are joining us night after night and letting people know about the channel. So it's all because of you guys, mate. It's easy for me to come on here. All I do is read out your comments and give my opinion. The rest is down to you guys and your amazing work. So if you're thanking me or you're congratulating me, mate, you should be congratulating yourselves as well, because it's mainly down to what you guys have done. So thank you for all your help, but we ain't finished yet, guys. We've a long way to go. So let's keep fighting and keep pushing, keep celebrating the Reds, and keep trying to grow the Anfield Agenda family. Stephen Richards says, Craig, do you think we should get someone like Casillas to be a number 2 for a couple of seasons? Because I don't see the point in keeping SpongeBob if he doesn't want to be here. I'd rather Queeveen Kelleher or Grabara or somebody gets a chance as a number 2. But I get where you're coming from with the established goalkeeper. That's kind of where I was last season when we had Karius and he was doing well. Like when we were happy enough with Karius, he was taking along nicely. That's kind of where I was. I would have been happy for us to bring in that kind of older, more experienced keeper, a Pepe Reina, a Casillas, a Buffon, somebody of that ilk, a Handanovic, somebody like that. Now where we are, I think we have a really good number 1 now who's quite young, plenty of time ahead of him, and yet still established. So I probably would like our number 2 to be a bit of a young buck, somebody who can get the cup games and then gradually establish himself and perhaps be the successor to ALISSON in God knows how many years' time. But we have to give these young guys a pathway through. We do it with the outfield players, so I feel very strongly we should be looking to do the same with the goalkeepers. That's Liferbird1 said, that's how good Mank chat rooms are. They're all on here trolling. They've got nothing good in their lives, mate. I mean, would you like to look at that shit week in, week out under Mourinho? They come in here because they want to ruin our fun, and they know they come in here and we're going to be having a laugh and celebrating and being happy with ourselves, and they ain't going to ruin it for us. So they got their period, they got their success, they got their time at the top. It's our turn now, buddy. Net spend is not good. Wouldn't celebrate having to sell our best players. Now LFC can be a bit like City nowadays, spending 50 to 7 million on one or two quality players. Don't think any of us were ever celebrating having to sell our best players, mate, to be fair. I get where you're coming from. You're right about the spending the decent money on one or two quality players. Fully agree with you on that. But at the same time, if you look at what happened when we sold these players, so we sold Coutinho and we were able to bring in Naby Keita, ALISSON and Fabinho. So, you know, Jurgen Klopp has been very clever about how he's reinvested that money. And look, none of us probably would have liked to see Coutinho gone. I'm with you on that one, but we're so blessed to have a manager that has been as clever as he has, along with his team in the transfer market. And the money we've got for players has more than funded the rebuilding of the squad. So it's happy days. Peace from Berlin, said Jay Kismet, mate. Jay, I'm gonna keep it on you now. I want you to look after Marco Grujic for me. You're in Berlin, so I'm expecting an update on Marco Grujic from you, buddy, throughout the season. Let us know. You're going to be our Berlin correspondent, so you can let us know how he's getting on in his loan spell over there at Hertha, and if we've got a player on our hands. But lots of love from Wexford as well, buddy, so thank you for joining us. Luke said, just seen the thumbnail and I love it. Also, we haven't conceded a bloody goal. And long may that fucking last, Luke. Long may these clean sheets keep coming. And I'm glad you liked the thumbnail. Not my work again. You know, all love to Connor on that one. It was Connor's creation. Can't play in 3 different stadiums in the same season, Craig said Ant. Which was my understanding as well, Ant, with the Spurs situation. So, interesting to see what happens. As you said, it would be a right kick in the nuts for them if they had to give up 3 points on a 3-0 win. Brandon said, Craig, I know you hate talking bad on our own players, but Lallana is pure shit. What's your opinion? I think his best days are behind him. I think he's far from shit personally, mate. I think he's a very good footballer. But what I wonder is, with Adam Lallana, at times you see a lot of kind of Cruyff turns, a lot of turnbacks to try and get away from a player. And the way we're playing now, I often ask myself if those turns or the way he gets away from players is actually slowing down our play. And he's just like not quick enough anymore in his movement and in his thinking for what the style of football that we play with this team. So I just think he's 30 years of age now. It would have, for me, just seemed like the perfect summer to have moved him on. But I'm that Jurgen Klopp. I don't see what Klopp sees on the training ground and in and around the squad. I've no problems with him being here because I said I think he's a very good footballer. I just think if we were to be really clever about it, we might have got a decent fee from this summer and could have reinvested that in somebody a little bit younger, a little bit of, I don't want to say brighter future, because again that feels like I'm having a go at Lallana, and I really like Lallana. Yeah, just would have seemed like the right time to move him on for me personally, but I think he's a very, very good footballer. Love for getting called up to Croatia despite being injured. We talked about this as well on the pod. It's something that baffles me, but as the guys on the podcast suggested, they might just want to have a look at him. They might want to bring him over, have a look at his injury, assess where he's at, keep him involved in the team meetings. They're going into the UEFA League of Nations or whatever it's called. I think they have a game against Spain, so yeah, it does look strange, but there's probably a perfectly innocent explanation for it. Scouts Gaming said, that's what feeds the trolls, Craig, don't acknowledge them. I'm trying not to, buddy. I will promise you I will try not to. There's a couple of things that, and I'm not going to give them out of course, but there's a couple of triggers that if people do say that they generally do get me worked up. But I don't want to give them out because then of course it'll be open fucking season. Charlene, gonna have an early night, Craig. Catch you later. You'll never walk alone, everyone. Good night, Charlene, mate, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Have a good one and get some rest. Alisson is the business, said Scout's Game, and I love short little to the point fucking posts like that because you can't argue with him. He is the business. You're absolutely spot on, mate. That's kind of where I'd be if I was interacting in some conversations as well. So many comments. I'm working through them my best, guys. I think LFC should ask Paula Ralph Lauren or Philippe Klein to design a kit that would turn heads. I'm a chav though, dirty girl. I can't be seen wearing Ralph Lauren or Philippe Klein or whoever that person. I don't even know who the fuck that designer is, but yeah, I'm a chav. I can't be seen wearing that stuff. Let's see who could design Liverpool's kits and still remain our chav like Sergio Cicchini. There's one perhaps. We could still be chavvy if we had them designing our kits. Who else is there? Lyland Scott perhaps. There's a few more chavvy-ish type brands that we could have that could design our kits if we wanted to move away from the Adidas or the Nikes of this world. Anfield Agenda #1 fan. That's the best name so far, by the way. So you get the winner of the night for the name of the year so far. What keepers would you play in what tournaments? Yes, that's a good question. You're gonna have to keep Miggs happy, so I'd probably give him the League Cup. Whether he gets the FA Cup or not, it's tough to say. I think it might be dependent on who we're against, but European games, definitely league games, I might be playing Alisson obviously, but be interesting to see. Mignolet does deserve some games if he stays at the club. Any number 2 in my eyes deserves some games, so I've no doubt Klopp will manage the situation well, but it's interesting to see. What I would go with, probably, call me a romantic, but I'd probably give Queevy and Callagher the League Cup, give Mignolet the FA Cup, and give Alisson the Champions League and the league games, but I can't see that happening if I'm being honest. El Chapo Guzman said Scouts Gaming. Pepper Red said I'm watching. May go early tonight, lads. I'm up early in the morning for Tato Park. Have a good evening, you legends. Talk tomorrow. Have a good day with the family tomorrow, Mick, at Tato Park, and pop on, let us know how you get on, buddy. Anyone seen that series El Chapo yet? I have. I've watched season 1 and season 2, mate, and it's an excellent show. I feel like mutton dressed as lamb in them fancy labels. At Dirty Girl said Damo. This is me as well, mate. Exactly as I said, I'm a chav underneath it all, so I can't be going around in them posh ass labels. Dave said, Craig, what do you think of our spine? Alisson, VVD, KEITA and SALAH. Now that's the spine, baby. It's pretty much what I said in the notes of the show tonight. I mean, that's the best. Like, I mean, that is class. You're not going to get a much better spine anywhere in the Premier League than the names you've just mentioned there. So adding players in and around that, which of course we have. We've got Mane, we've got Bobby Firmino, we've got Shaqiri, we've got all the other midfielders we spoke about. We've got options at left back, options at right back. It is a brilliant I was going to say spine, but it's more than that. It's just a brilliant squad that we have. Yassar said, Alisson has amazing distribution. He chipped the ball out to Robertson, who was in bearing down on Palace's back three. Alisson will defo get an assist. I think it's only a matter of time, mate. I think you're spot on. He has it in him, doesn't he? I think, who was it? I think it was... It might have been Copite that said he had money on him of 80 to 1 to get 4 assists. Somebody in our chat has money on him anyway to get 4 assists this season. Stephen Richards says, I think Mane is going for top scorer. He's almost demanding penalties, etc. He and Naby charge around like two escaped chickens. It was interesting yesterday to see Salah and Mane, I won't say arguing, but in conversation with Palace players, and Milner just taking the ball and just saying, it's my fucking penalty now. You've missed your chance, guys. Dirty Girl said, any phone guests or special guests on tonight or tomorrow, Craig? Tomorrow I honestly haven't got a clue about. I haven't had a chance to talk to the guys yet. Tonight, no, because I just had Dave, Jack and Christian on a podcast before this, so I didn't want to take up any more of their time because these are busy gents and I appreciate them giving up the time to come on the pod. So as we stand, no, nothing yet, but we might get Connor on tomorrow. We'll have a word and see how he's fixed. I know he's busy at the minute. Lallana is too slow now. Sorry, but I'm right, said Dirty Girl. Why did somebody delete the child who lives in a bin's comment? He certainly is not a troll. He's one of our guys and a top bloke. Sorry, mate. I'm going to read out your comment anyway. Apparently Milner is going to sign for Celtic or Rangers at the end of the summer. I've no idea why somebody put that comment or deleted that comment on you, mate. And why was he hidden? Or it was unhidden, sorry, by Pat Bot. William Pat. Sorry, I was just confused there, guys, because he's one of ours. The guy who lives in the bin is a regular contributor here in the channel, so James Milner will lift the European Cup this season. Shaqiri will probably get a few minutes on Saturday, said Brandon. Ryan said, Lallana good with both feet. Remember, he got a bad injury, guys. He was a workhorse and one of our best players. And he absolutely was. He was vital to the press when Jurgen Klopp first came. Himself and Firmino were the fulcrum that worked that press. They worked harder than anybody. So I completely get where you're coming from. Tippy said, glad Liverpool are not looking at players like Benteke and Balotelli anymore. I mean, so am I, mate. Those were confusing times, shall we say. If Michael Edwards gets paid less than 20 million, or gets less than 20 million for Origi, gets us more than 20 million for Origi, we should be building him a statue, said Squisms. I think we should be building him a fucking statue anyway, because the man's just done tremendous business. Jean-Paul Gaultier to design our next kit. We'll all look like fucking sailors or something if he's designing the kit. Jace said, recruitment is on point these days, from the shambolic, embarrassing Rodgers versus committee nonsense to synergy between Klopp and the recruitment team, improvements both on and off the field under Jurgen. What's mad about that, Jace, is, as you rightly said there, the whole embarrassment around Klopp and the committee, whereas what's going on now with Jurgen Klopp is probably no different. These committees are at every club, so the manager will have his head of recruitment who will, put players in front of him, the team will look at them, and then they'll decide who to go for, and it's absolutely no different now. And Jurgen Klopp has said himself on a couple of occasions that they basically rammed Mo Salah down his throat. They kept pushing him and say, look at this guy, you should definitely have a look at him, he's who we should be bringing in. And you're right, Jace, it just goes to show that different managers bring in different feelings and put out different things to the media. With Brendan Rodgers, it was always that he was letting the media know that he wasn't happy and that he didn't get free rein. Whereas Jurgen Klopp, he has final say. I mean, I'll give him that one, but not much has changed. He's just better at his job and he's better at making these decisions. And maybe he has a better team of scouts. I don't know. I don't know the scouts well enough. Kamal said Shaqiri will score goals in the Palace game, but he won't get a chance. Craig, season 3 is out. It's savage, mate, says El Chapo. I will give that one a watch. I have so much TV to catch up on, though. I haven't gone on Netflix in ages. What's up, Reds? Having some grub? Any crack? Said Joseph. What are you eating, mate? I mean, you're not sharing with the rest of us. Come on here telling us you're having grub and you're not sharing. I hope it's nothing delicious. I hope you're having vegetables or something, mate. I hope you're punishing yourself for coming on here telling us you're having grub. Dirty Girl said, if we get 20 to 25 million for Origi, I will personally carve the marble statue. I'll give you a hand, Dirty Girl, mate. I'll send you over a chisel or something. How about that? We should see what the bin child has to say. I love that name as well. There he is. He's back. Don't stop believing. Or don't Klopp believing. I'm fucking up your jokes again, mate. I do apologise. Don't Klopp believing. I was almost going to sing there, but I couldn't quite bring myself to hit those high notes. But now the song's stuck in my head, mate. So thank you for that one. Ryan said, Lallana is a squad player now. That's the difference. Jurgen's men don't know defeat. Jurgen Klopp, said Brian and Missy, the Bulldogs bullies. Damn right we don't, mate. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. And the Reds are on the march. Jurgen Klopp's boys are certainly on the march. No word on Karius going just yet, mate. Not that I know of yet, Joseph. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to read recently. Maybe something has happened, but as things stand, that I'm aware of, he hasn't gone just yet. Far Isle said, "Whew, finally done with some stuff at home. Listened to the beginning of the pod, but jumped on to the live portion. So hello all. Welcome, mate. Great to have you back with us. I hope things are going well at home for you. So great to have you in." Stephen Richard said, "Craig picked up that Stevie Mac top on eBay, the one with the oversized badge. I am a chav." Why not, mate? I often go onto eBay and pick up some kits, and I often troll at charity shops as well, hoping to find some buttes. And do you know what I found out, actually? So, as you said, you went on eBay and you bought the shirt yourself on there. So what I found out from my research at the time was, because I used to try and get the older jerseys so I could go get them signed at shows, ex-player shows and stuff like that. But apparently, when you give bags of clothes into charity shops and things like that, or there's some even that you can get money, I believe, for them. You can get like 50p a kilo or something like that for the clothes. So what happens with these clothes is these clothes get sent off to I don't want to say recycling place. Well, they call them recycling plants. Let's use Poland as an example. So they get sent to Poland. And what's happening is people are going through these bags of recycled clothes, alright, but they're picking out shirts and stuff like that because they know they've got resale value. And you have a look at where a lot of these shirts are being sold from. A lot of these older shirts, the old Liverpool shirts, the old United shirts, a lot of them are coming from the same countries time and time again. And that's because these people are clever enough, and I'm not slagging them for it because it's a fucking great idea. Why not? They should absolutely be doing it. But what I feel is certainly be giving up 50% of any money I'm making from it towards a charitable cause. But yeah, it's better that more money is made from the shirts than to just go in a bin or to a recycling plant. I hate the idea of classy Liverpool shirts being just recycled or sent off to be pulled apart. But yeah, it's interesting if you have a look where these shirts are coming from. A lot of them keep coming from the same places because, like yourself, I've bought a few of them over the years. I can't mention that one, mate. The child who lives in the bin. I can't really talk about that topic at this moment in time because all Liverpool content providers have been urged not to speak about it. So it's a very emotive topic and just something I don't feel we should be talking about yet because things are still in motion and cases are still open. Junior says, breaking, Joe Gomez is set to cap his excellent start to the season with an England recall via Mail Sport. Brilliant, and no less than the young man deserves. That's one thing you'll give Gareth Southgate, or you've got to give Southgate, is he is not afraid to give players a chance. And he's not afraid to kick out the old established players if he doesn't feel that they're performing. Craig, have you watched Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad? Hell yeah I have. You know I have, baby. They're quality shows. Craig, try Ozark on Netflix. No idea what that is, Stephen, mate, but bear in mind Craig doesn't do sci-fi. Craig doesn't do anything unbelievable like Game of Thrones rotten. It's usually just comedy or gangster for me. So I'll have a look at Ozark. I've got to say I've got no idea what it is. ALISSON, awesome display. It's only me, but his distribution was as good as I've ever seen. Amazing long fast passes to start attacks. Best buy this season, says Wayne Denton. He's quality, Wayne, mate. I could talk about ALISSON for the entire stream here. That's how much I love the dude. Definitely going to make a huge difference to us this season. Yesterday was only the start of what we're going to see from this dude with regards to his distribution and of course his shot stopping abilities. Knowing Edwards, the Origi deal will include a Pulisic clause, said Ryan, which is class. A Pulisic clause. I do like that one. I like the idea of that one now. Oh yeah, absolutely, certainly. Yeah, you can definitely have Divock Origi. The fee, yeah, the money you've offered is fine. We do have to insist on a clause. Oh, you guys want the sell-on clause? Is it? No. We've been thinking about something else. It's a little something we're going to call the Christian clause. Yeah, basically what it means is if you sign Divock Origi, then winger first. Sorry, what was that? Winger first shout from Pulisic. Sorry, I just signed a fucking contract. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later on. Fast forward 1 year to when Liverpool are exercising their clause to bring in Christian Pulisic for £35 million, and we're all carrying Michael Edwards around Liverpool on a throne and walking him through the city centre. Love the channel name, to be fair, said Hayes Gaming. Thank you very much, mate. We were called something different previously, but we changed it because we wanted to make it more obvious that we were Liverpool related. When we originally started, our name was Talk of the Terrace, and if you abbreviate that to TOTT, a lot of people were going, is this a fucking Spurs show? Like, what? I'm not sure. So we had a little chat about it, and we decided to rebrand, call ourselves Anfield Agenda, and it's the best thing we've ever done. Paul said, child who lives in the bin, I'm sorry, mate. Fellow mods have been so supportive. It was a mistake. 10 Hail Marys, I promised. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. It happens from time to time. It's just because people are so good at what they do here. People are so supportive and trying to get my back and stop people coming on trolling. I understand what you guys do, and occasionally stuff like this will happen. Alisson could have saved Katie Price's virginity, said Ultimate Trickster. That's some ask though, mate, to be fair. I mean, that's some save to make. Ryan said, we're 6 points closer to Craig's Mohawk stream. If we do the double, you're going to get the full-on fire starter from Prodigy, so, you know, let's go for a double. I've no idea what happens if we win a treble. I mean, we're going to have to rethink that one altogether. Stevie Richards said, Ozark is about money laundering by the cartel, stars Jason Bateman. Damn right then. Great shout, mate. I will definitely be giving that one a try. Thank you for the heads up. Where's my mate Raptor tonight, said Dave. He could be busy, mate. He could be busy down the dungeon. I mean, he has to keep these guys in check, the thumbs downers, as you know, so he might be busy down there. Damo said, hope that Greek side beat Benfica or there'll be a few plates broken. 1-1 after the first leg, so they still have to go back to Greece. So you'd say advantage probably PAOK at this moment in time. A 0-0 draw back in Greece will put them through to the next round and us into pot 2. Where are we? I need to get a better chat, a better app to use the chat on here, guys, because it's jumpy as fuck for me. Wentworth is my guilty pleasure, said Megan Onky, and I keep saying it, mate, but I absolutely love that name of yours. I'm laughing because do you know what it puts in my head? So I'm not sure if you guys on here are Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, doesn't matter whatever religion you are, but if anybody knows the song Little Donkey, the little donkey on a dusty road, that song anyway. Megan Onky's name, when I'm walking around the house at times, I keep going Megan Onky, going through my head. So yeah, I do love the name, mate, and it always gets stuck in my head. Jay said, hoping for a comfortable lead against Brighton, then on comes the new SAS where Jewish Shaqiri rips Norter from 25 yards. He has it in his kit bag, doesn't he, Jace? I mean, the goal he scored against United was the perfect way to introduce yourself to the Liverpool fans. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to end up getting one hell of a bargain there for £13.5 million. I'm so happy, Jace, mate. I'm so fucking happy with where we are at this moment in time. And by the way, mate, I hope the family are well. Great to see you out and about at the cinema the other day with your young lady. I hope she enjoyed the movie. Announce Fakir. Nabil could announce himself. He often pops in here in the chat, so we'll have to ask him if we see him later on. Somebody said, I think the Greek side are unbeaten at home in something like 28 games, Cobra says. Let's hope we can make that one 29. KD Taylor or KD Price. We won't be having anything said about KD Taylor on this stream. Nothing but KD Taylor love-ins on this stream because she's an absolute legend and a monster in the ring. And on the football field as well. KD Taylor has also represented Ireland at international level in football, so she's just a multi-superstar. Good result in the Champions League tonight with Benfica only drawn in the first leg against Greek side PAOK Salonika 1-1. Paul's just reminding us all. Absolutely, mate, halfway there. I've got to be honest though, I really don't give a shit if we end up in pot 2 or pot 3 because I think we're good enough to get out of any group. And it would be all the more palatable for me if we got somebody like Barcelona and I don't even know who's in pot 2, but let's pull out somebody like Roma or somebody like that from pot 2. I mean, I'd love to have two really good teams in our group. We need to whip the ass of a top 10 team by 6 or more goals soon, to let everyone know we can beat them and bend them over anytime we want, said Frederick Ross. I'm with you. And somebody's getting a spanking this year, mate. You're right. Somebody is definitely going to get a spanking this year. And I'm not talking about one of the whipping boys down the bottom. Of course, I'm being disrespectful calling them whipping boys. I should apologise for that one. But you're right. Somebody in that top 10 is going to have their ass handed to them by the Reds this season. How good would like a 5-0 or a 4-0 spanking of Spurs be? I mean, that would probably give me a lot of satisfaction, because I hate those guys trying to invent rivalries that just aren't there. So just to put them back in their fucking place and let them know that they're not at our level just yet. Let them go and find themselves a fucking stadium that works first. Those Greek grounds are something lively, said Dirty Girl. They really are. They really are. They're not quite up there with Turkish levels, but yeah, Greek fans can certainly make some noise inside the stadiums. No sure thing about that. Stuart Downing back. Don't get me excited, said Junior. Don't talk about Stuart Downing. God almighty. He was one of the most frustrating players I've ever fucking seen at Liverpool. Seriously. Really, I never got what he brought to the team. He just seemed to bottle it time and time again. If we win the treble, you should grow a full beard, said Robert. There's just one little problem with that, Robert. I honestly couldn't grow a beard. If I tried, I would just have patches of hair here, here and here. If I could grow a full beard, Robert, I guarantee you I would have a full beard. I'd still be bald on top. I'd still make sure I've got no hair. But if I could grow a beard, mate, I'd have one now. Trust me on that one. Where else are we? Stuart Downing. No, we're going to skip that one. Defo a boxer. She could slap the head off me any day, said Joseph. She's unbelievable, mate, honestly. And put aside male boxers, female boxers, Katie Taylor is just a fucking awesome boxer. Full stop. Only the treble, said Junior. I'd be disappointed without a quadruple. Lallana is finished, says Louis. Hopefully Spurs pass on the message to United. Mind the gap, said Ryan. Jay said, if we get the treble, I'll find my way onto Periscope with you to celebrate, mate. Damn right, Jace. If we win the league, I'm expecting you at least on a pod, Jace. At least a once-off appearance on a pod. If we do win the treble, then you won't need to find me on Periscope, mate. I'll meet you in Liverpool because we will be fucking partying, my friend. I think we still need a playmaker for games like yesterday, and also for set pieces. We currently don't have a proper set piece taker like Gerrard or Coutinho, said Jeff Brown. Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. We don't have what you deem a specialist, absolutely. Trent, you know, he's getting there. He isn't quite a specialist. Shaqiri, I reckon, can certainly take a free kick, but I do fully understand where you're coming from. But don't ever rule out Big Verge from a free kick either. Obviously, in a set piece situation, you're going to want Van Dijk in the box for his height, but I mean, if you've seen some of the free kicks he scored for Celtic, it's ridiculous. The guy, there just seems to be nothing that Van Dijk can't do. I bet you can even play in goal if he wanted to. Far Isle said, I think we don't need to sign Fekir because it would have been too unfair. The demoralising realisation that we also had him completely unfair, said Far Isle. Jeff said, January Klopp should go for Quintero from Colombia. He's gone for 20 million and he's on loan in the Argentinian league. If Liverpool is not sure of going for Fekir long term. Don't know much about him, to be honest, so don't really feel like I'm qualified to talk about him, Jeff. Shaqiri could have been bought to replace Lallana, maybe, from the child who lives in a bin. One thing I'll say about that Shaqiri transfer is, for anybody who's thinking that he was brought in instead of Nabil Fekir, that's simply not true. Both of them were wanted. We would have brought both of them in. It wasn't one or the other. Why is everybody booting out Anfield Agenda #1 fan? Has he said something derogatory or slagged anybody off? Genuinely just want to know. I'm just reading his deleted comment here, and I don't know, maybe I missed something a little bit further up, or maybe he's the person that you guys have said just keeps recreating accounts. Where are we? How is the stadium meant to work? Says Amadeep Singh. Not 100% sure where you're going with the comment, buddy. Apologies on that one. Robert said, I'd prefer to go into a hard group to prove we can do it because we aren't going to win trophies without beating top sides. Joseph reckons it's he who cannot be mentioned with the Anfield #1 agenda fan. I'd rather get some big teams in the group, get the competition out early, said Ryan, which is another good point. Arsenal always get a good whipping, said Dirty Girl. Yeah, they do, to be fair. There's been a couple of high scoring games against Arsenal. And John Rainey said, by one of the whipping boys at the bottom, I presume you mean United and Arsenal. Yeah, you're spot on, mate. I didn't want to belittle them, but you're exactly right. That's who I'm talking about. Them bitches down the bottom of the league. 6 point gap over Arsenal already after 2 games. Pressure on Unai Emery already. He did have a difficult start, to be fair, but not our fucking problem. Paul said, want to change my username to Nabby's Cruyff Turn, would I lose me blue spanner? No, you wouldn't. Absolutely, you can change your username to whatever you want. That spanner will stay because it's on your account. Skipper Dog is in the building. Skipper Dog, sir, how the hell are you? I hope we spank Spurs or United by 4 goals. I'm fully with you. I'm absolutely with you. Nothing will give me greater pleasure than sending Jose and his bus back to Manchester with 4 wheels missing and 4 goals in the bank for us, and a big fuck you on his way back up to Manchester. No, we've already read that one, so we'll skip by that. Oh, Sean McDonald said, I've managed to get tickets for Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. I can't wait. It should be a good beating, said Sean. I've been to a couple of those games myself, mate, and I've seen victories both times. So yeah, you're right. Usually we get good results against them at Anfield, but I've no doubt you'll enjoy the game, Sean. Congratulations on securing the tickets, buddy, and I hope you have a great time. Do let us know how you get on, and of course, any pictures or anything like that, send them to us at the Anfield Agenda Twitter account, and we will happily post them up at Anfield Agenda. Really simple. And if anyone's not following us on there, please do so. You really should be. If you enjoy what we do on there, our humour goes a little bit further even on Twitter, so check us out on there as well. And if anybody wants to give me a follow, I've just set up a new personal account in the past couple of weeks. I will put the name into the chat for you guys if anyone wants to give me a follow on there. It's copjaffer_LFC. I used to have a much bigger account. I think when I quit, I had something like 23,000 followers or something, but Twitter was just becoming a bit too bitter for me at times, so I left. But yeah, if anyone wants to give me a follow, it's gone into the chat there now. But mainly, don't forget to give the Anfield Agenda account a follow. It's there on the screen, actually, as you can see beside the Twitter icon, Anfield Agenda. VVD's best free kicks, said child who lives in a bin. Jay said, I'll definitely fulfill my promise of coming on a pod, mate. Not done one for 10 months now. Jace, mate, you know nothing would give me greater pleasure, my friend, than getting you into a pod someday. I'm never going to put pressure on you, buddy. I know you're a busy man. I know you're concentrating on the writing as well. And I've no doubt you're smashing that as well because you're excellent at what you do. But if you ever do want to come on, mate, if you ever get the urge, you know I'm always here and you know we'd always love to have you. El Chapo said, hands up, it was me. Which was you, the Anfield Agenda #1 account, or was there something else I'm missing? Oh, Amadeep, apologies, mate. You said Spurs don't have a stadium that works. Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry, I just misunderstood what you were saying. It's a little bit fucking embarrassing, isn't it, what's going on there with Spurs? You can understand missing by a couple of weeks, but they already got that exemption. They already got pushed back a little bit. And whilst fan safety should always be top priority, you might, looking from the outside, it does look a little bit embarrassing for them. Do we have plans to extend Anfield, other than the planning permission that we already have, or the outline planning permission for the Annie Road end? No more that I'm aware of, buddy. Do we want Spurs to draw with United so they both drop 2 points, or do we just want Spurs to stuff United and see Jose explaining that his doggy tactics? I probably want a draw, if I'm being honest. Being a pragmatist here, I want everybody to drop points at some point, so a draw would suit me perfectly. It would be like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Bittersweet, because you want United to get beaten, but seeing them both drop some points would be excellent. Oh, we even have a Johnny Cuntylocks account now, who's popped in to say hello. Good evening, Mr. Cuntylocks, sir. How are you? Stephen, your wish is my command, sir. Liverpool kits, Fred Perry, Lyland Scott, Schlesinger, said Paul. Mate, if we ever have to put up with Schlesinger kits, I'm never buying another kit again, I can promise you that one. Oh Jesus, can you imagine Schlesinger? I mean, that's right up there with, who's some other shitty kit makers actually? If you can think of a shitty kit maker, put it in the chat. Mizuno is probably one. There's a few out there that make some truly awful kits. The child who lives in a bin said, what do you think about Liverpool's game against Brighton on Saturday at Anfield? I'm expecting a hiding for them, if I'm being honest, mate. It's what we should be looking to do. I mean, at the end of the day, it does matter. 1-0 win would do. 3 points in the bank is all that matters. But I firmly believe at this point of the season, we should be laying down markers and letting the other teams know that we're serious, we're here. Sending out a message that if you come to Anfield, you either bring your A game and you're still going to go home, or you can come and just, play nice and just try to not get an absolute hiding and go home, somewhat respectable scoreline. But either way, we have to be letting teams know, air gaff, you're not leaving with anything other than a damn good kicking. Randy said, good evening Craig, good evening all. Do you think Gomez can stay injury free, and do you think he'll be spoken about in the same vein as Virgil van Dijk? I hope, of course, I sincerely hope he can stay injury free. It's something we can never predict. He's had a really bad run in the past couple of seasons, but will he be spoken about in the same breath as Van Dijk? That's difficult to say. Van Dijk is just absolute class. I certainly hope so. Let me say that, I certainly hope so. Can you imagine we had 2 Virgil van Dijk quality players on our hands? That would be ridiculous. Fook United, let them drop, said Joseph. We probably need Spurs to drop points, says Cobra. Although I'd love to see the Manx get rinsed. Paul said, the more misery on the Manx, the better. I want Firmino and KEITA to score. They've been both playing well, said Louis. And Mickey fella said, just followed you on Twitter, Craig. Much appreciated, buddy. I haven't got access to my account now, but I'll have a look later on. Thank you for that one. Much appreciated. And same to Paul. Thank you, mate. Who thinks Craig should do some compilation videos? Of what? Anything in particular? If it's content in regards to football, like goals and stuff, then we can't do it. I'm not losing my channel through copyright. And I know Connor would feel the same way, but if there's something we can do compilation videos on, let me know. We're always open to your suggestions here, guys. It's your channel. We'll do what you guys want. Within context, of course. We're not going on full on nude on here or anything like that. Just yet. Anfield Agenda After Dark could be a money maker at some point. Draw between United and Spurs is probably best for us, said the child who lives in a bin. Stephen, you are absolutely welcome, my friend, and thank you so much for your continued support, mate. It means a lot to us. Guys, I haven't yelled it out in a while, but if you are watching, don't forget to hit that like button. Give us a subscription, I should say, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel. It does mean a lot to us. It helps us grow, helps us get out there. And as those of you who've been with us a long time know, we try and put out consistent content. I'm on here almost every night, if not every night. We put up all our podcasts, we do watch-alongs of games, post-match stuff, and we're even going to be doing a watch-along for the McGregor fight. So we're trying to put out lots and lots of content on here. We will be increasing it even more as the season goes on. Myself and Connor have a couple of meetings arranged to see if we can get extra contributors on board, a few more little things we're trying to work on. And of course, we're trying to do the website as well in the background. So it's busy time. So if you are out there and you are watching, you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you're enjoying it, one. And if you have, please do hit that subscribe button. I don't think you'll regret it, but you know, you might. But I can't give you a cast iron guarantee, but I hope you don't regret it. Do you know what, guys? That is really weird for me, this whole thing. Excuse me. About pitching for you know, followers and likes and stuff. It's really alien to anything I've ever done before in life, because usually you're on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and you're just putting your thoughts out into the world, and you're chatting with people, and you're going back and forth, and you don't have to be responsible for anybody else but yourself. So if people dig what you're doing on your social media accounts, they give you a follow, happy days. If they don't, it doesn't matter. You're still out there and you're still chatting with people. But having Anfield Agenda and having a little bit of added pressure of knowing I'm working for Connor, Cash, Dave, Chris, Jack, Christian, everybody involved, Charlie, everybody that's involved with the channel, and of course all of you guys. It's tough at times to try and keep things moving along, and there's days where I might be just knackered and I mightn't want to come on, but then I think that I'm responsible for everybody else as well, and I've made you guys a promise that we're going to grow this into something special. We're going to do it together, and I'm going to stand by that, guys. So your help is very much appreciated. I know a lot of you, like Marlon for instance, the other night Marlon got us 200 subscribers out of nowhere, so that was extremely appreciated. And I just want to keep reiterating that this is your channel, guys. We're doing this for you as well. Nobody here is pocketing money from this. Nobody is on the make. Every penny that we've received from sponsorship, or not sponsorship, excuse me, donations and stuff, actually, to be honest, it hasn't even covered what we've done yet. But we're still going to keep plowing our own money into it if needs be. But if you guys are out there and you do want to help us, and you do want to, like our next project for instance, I'll give you an example. The next thing we want to buy is a ring light. I think the one we're looking at, if I'm £69.99, something like that. And then after that, we've got the upkeep of the website. We're trying to get more tech involved. We're trying to build new things and buy new additions for the website. So there are little bits and pieces moving along that we'd like to do, but we can only do if the finances are in place. Hopefully we get the YouTube ads, and we get the YouTube monetization program soon, which will allow us to get super chats, have adverts on the channel, things like that. So until then, we're trying to just tick along. But if anyone does want to help us out, I will stick the details again into the chat, and you can do so a couple of ways. You can do so on Patreon, and what that means is you're basically signing up to whatever you feel comfortable with every month. So we've got guys on there that send us 5 a month, 8 a month, 3 a month, 2 a month, whatever works for you guys. And the other option is to go onto PayPal, and on PayPal you can do a once-off transaction. If you want to buy Connor a pint, or you want to help me buy hair dye when I have to grow the mohawk when Liverpool win the league, you want to buy us a 6-pack of Diet Chav, whatever it might be, you can go onto PayPal 2 ways. If you're a regular PayPal user like me, you can go on there and you can put in the email address, which is anfieldagenda@outlook.com, and you can just do it as a once-off transaction that way. Or else you can go and have a look in the chat, which I've just dropped in, and there's a direct link there, a PayPal me link, which basically means that'll bring you direct to the payment page, and you can stick in whatever you feel comfortable with. Again, apologies on that one, guys, but these are the ways of running a channel. These things do need to be talked about until YouTube come through, and until we get that YouTube money, which of course would help us keep, what's the phrase I'm looking for? It would help us be self-sustaining, and would allow us to take along and cover our costs. If you go on to Patreon, you'll see, I don't want to say it on here because, you know, go on to Patreon and you'll see we have a breakdown. We have exactly on there what our monthly costs are for running the channel. So if you want to have a look on there and you want to help out, it's very much appreciated. Blue Tick Gaming said, I am the 78 like. Thank you very much, sir. Who's going to be like number 100 though? That's the really interesting thing here. Great stream, Craig, thanks. And Joe's heading off. Good night, mate. Have you tried Coke Zero, Craig, said Cameron. I have. It's just not my thing. It feels like I'm getting all the shittiness of Coke without the sugar, and I can still feel the gritty bit in my teeth, mate. It's just not for me. Diet Coke all the way. 3,548 subs, said Vinny, which is excellent. Thank you, guys. Let's keep pushing along though. Let's keep talking about Liverpool. We've had enough about the the money side of things and the subscribers, I apologise for talking about that. But as I said to you guys, I do feel a responsibility for everybody involved in the channel, you guys included, to keep this ship on the... well, the ship doesn't belong on the road, but to keep this ship afloat. Blue Tick Game said, great title for the stream, but where is the mana? He's unstoppable. I can only fit so much in, mate, if I want people to be able to read the entire title. So with you, I wanted to name the entire team, but I just had to keep it to a minimum so I could get people to read the full title. Klopp's Underpants, love that name. Who would you say was close to VVD in the world right now? Oh, Jesus. There's quite a few good centre backs. Company, if he could keep his fitness, is on that level. I mean, Company is top level centre back. Then you look through the world. Who have you got else there? I wouldn't put Varane. Would I put Varane at the same level? I don't know. It's a tough one. Diego Godin is a top level central defender as well. Somebody who you can always rely on, and you know if you're playing alongside, you're going to get 100%. There's not many, to be honest. I think Varane and Godin are probably two of the best in the world at this moment in time. Company, if he could, as I said, if he didn't have his injuries. Just thinking through Barcelona, I don't really rate Umtiti that much. Who else have we got? Real Madrid, we've already spoke about Varane. The other prick can go fuck himself. I'm not even going to talk about him. Koulibaly, I know a lot of people will be shouting for Koulibaly. He's an excellent centre back. Yeah, it's a tough call, but honestly, I'm happy with who we have in Van Dijk. How many subscribers before you get YouTube money? Said Mickey fella. It doesn't really work like that. You do have to hit a certain target, which is 1,000 subscribers, so we're way past that. And you also have to have X amount of watch time, and we've smashed that one as well. We were refused YouTube monetization because of copyright, and we've no idea why, because they didn't tell us what we'd done wrong. So we had to wait 30 days and reapply. Those 30 days are up, we've reapplied. Let's wait and see what they come back with this time, but it's still going to take another 5 or 6 weeks before we find out. And if they come back to us with the same thing, then I'm going to fucking pull whatever hair I have left out, because I've genuinely got no idea, Mickey, what we did wrong. And they don't tell you, which makes it even more fucking infuriating. Craig, are you allowed to interview, or does any LFC player know of Anfield Agenda? Here's the thing about what we do, Dirty Girl. Because we are a channel that is mainly focused on fans, and we say what the fuck we want to say, and we let you guys say whatever the hell you want to say, we're not really worried or focused about being able to get access to Klopp or the players. And the type of questions that we'd feel comfortable asking are probably not the type of questions that the Liverpool PR team are going to allow us to ask. So if we got Jurgen Klopp or I got Sadio Mane or Mo Salah, I don't want to ask them the shitty questions they get asked every week. I don't want to know what their favourite fucking restaurant in the city is, or I don't want to ask them fluff questions. If I get them in, I want to know what really fucking makes them tick. So we're probably never going to get access to the players, if I'm being honest. And also what we've always said is we're not really that interested in interviewing Liverpool players or Jurgen Klopp, because our focus has always been on you guys. We're a fan focused channel. The Anfield Wrap, they're brilliant, their content is amazing. Let them guys focus on the interviews with Jurgen Klopp, Sadio Mane. They've got the access at the minute and they're doing a brilliant job of what they're doing. For us, it's more about your opinion. We only want to know what the fans think. We're a fan focused channel. We're not experts, we don't claim to be pundits. We're only here to interact with other fans, get your opinions, and we're more interested in hearing what the fuck you have to say about a game than what a player has to say when, if we're being honest, they can only say a certain amount of things. They can't say what they really want to say. And that's what I love about what we do here. You guys can speak freely, we can speak freely, we can curse, we can do what we want, because we're football fans talking passionately about something that means a lot to us, and we can do that freely on this channel. Clavan is the best centre back in the world. He's not ours anymore though. He's gone to Calgary. Bye bye, Ragnar. My wish is that Liverpool never buys a player who have that pig Raiola as his agent. I don't like him at all, mate. I'm with you on that one. I'm not a fan of Mina Raiola. Yeah, he seems to just cause a little bit of shit everywhere he goes, doesn't he? Blue Tick Gaming said, seeing Gomez and Van Dijk together at the back is solid. If Lovren is available, what would you do if you were Klopp? I'd keep Gomez there for the minute. As I keep saying, if you have the jersey, it's yours to keep until you know somebody proves in training that they deserve to have it, or you make a mistake. And at this moment in time, I think young Joe Gomez has been excellent. So long may he continue, and the jersey is his as far as I'm concerned. I think Lovren could get dropped because Gomez has been immense, said Cameron. Spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. You should put Alisson on your wallpaper. Oh, he will be soon, Hassan, buddy. Don't you worry about that. Dave, the guy who does the cartoons, will be sending us over some updated ones for this season. He just wanted to wait until the transfer window closed so he knew what players Liverpool had in and he could do a full squad image. So we will get some new ones, but this background behind me here will be disappearing in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be working off a green screen, so we've invested in that as well, which is something I probably should have mentioned earlier. So yeah, we'll be working off a green screen in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to think up some really fucked up backgrounds, some real Anfield Agenda-esque backgrounds. We won't come on here and put fucking Anfield behind us or anything like that, because that's cheesy as fuck and that's not what we're about. We're going to think up something a little bit more creative than that, a little bit more fun. Murtaza said, I'm so pissed off, Craig. The channel that you aren't allowed to mention, such bullshitters about Mo Salah diving for the penalty and diving when Wan-Bissaka fouled him. I mean, nobody can argue about the Bissaka incident, surely. I mean, if you're arguing about that, give up, because it was clear as fuck. When the Emu is even coming out and saying that there's no arguments over the red card, I don't know how any other fan can. With regards to the penalty incident, I've got to be honest about this. If I'm a Palace fan, I'm probably screaming that it wasn't a penalty. But I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm saying he's a definite penalty. He was definitely clipped by Sacco, and he has every right to go down. That's the beauty of us being football fans. We're allowed to be hypocrites. But the Wan-Bissaka one, there's just no argument over that. That was a straight red card. And, it was clear as day. But, with other fans moaning about it, you know my answer. It's the same answer I give week in, week out. Fuck them. Fuck them is all I have to say to them. Fuck them, fuck each and every last one of them. Joseph said, you'll have 3,500 people outside the YouTube offices if they give you any shit, Craig. That's the worst part about it, Joseph, is if they said to you, yeah, we've refused you a monetization or partnership program, I believe they call it, because of this and this. Sort that out and we'll review it. Grand, happy days. Nobody wants to break the rules. We want to be on here and we want to play by the rules. As you can see, when we do our live streams, we don't show any content because we're trying to keep by the rules. So it's just the fact that we don't know what we did wrong that makes it extra infuriating. Watching Porky's Revenge, says Gareth. I do love a good old comedy, so why not get in? Enjoy it. Benjamin said 2 + 2 is 4 - 1, 3. That's quick maths. It is, mate, and man's not hot. Solanke, long-term striker. Yeah, it's. Let's not rule out Dominic Solanke just yet. He's still a young man, still got plenty of time to develop. And Mickey fella said Klopp would still be going at 6 AM if he was full of Diet Chav as well. I mean, Diet Chav energy is the next thing that we're going to be working on. I mean, it's the drink of the future, surely. Kevin Williams said Solanke is better than Firmino. There, I said it. Well, he isn't. Like, that's just a ridiculous statement to make. Calvin, mate, I've no idea if you're winding us up or if you're a fan of another club or whatever it is that you're going with here, and I want to show you respect because it's your opinion, but he really isn't anywhere near the class of Roberto Firmino, and to even suggest that, mate, is very naive. Karius is on his way, hopefully, wish him all the best, said Simon. Of course, yeah, nothing but love for Loris Karius as he moves on with his career, and we wish him every success at Besiktas. Ninja MC said Salah off form is still one of our best players on the pitch. He is, and same with Bobby. Bobby's not going through his best patch at the minute, but even a 70% Bobby Firmino is still one hell of a player. Jace Roberts said, I think one of Raiola's biggest clients is Balotelli. Enough said. Isn't he Pogba's agent as well, Raiola? He's just a slob. Even look at the state of the dude. Like, he just looks like he hasn't got two peas to rub together, and he looks like he's always after just having kebab grease dripping off his face. Blue Tick Gaming said, do you see the difference how we changed our style of play when we started with the slow tiki-taka at the back, but before we used to not keep possession properly and would just attack and leave space in behind? I think it's something Klopp definitely had to look at. We were leaving ourselves exposed a lot of the time, as you said, and it's about trying to find a way of being able to attack at will almost, and certainly turn over possession quickly and attack. But I suppose the best way for us to try and do that is to win the ball back as high up the field as we can. And we've also seen our defensive line move up probably 10 yards now that we have Virgil van Dijk there. So it's all about winning the ball as high up the field as we can. And I was reading earlier on about Bielsa, the coach that's at Leeds now. And I was reading an ex-goalkeeper of his that said that once he noticed they were playing a team they were about to play, they used to give away a lot of throw-ins. Like they used to lose a lot of throw-ins. So what I mean by that is they turned possession over from throw-ins a lot. They were just shit at how they took good throws. So Bielsa said to the goalkeeper, look, when you get the ball, what I want you to do is ping 70, 80 yard diagonals out into touch as close to the corner flag or up there under the field as you can. And he did that for the game, and the fans in the stands were booing him, and you know they were all thinking the keeper's having an off day, he's having a shit day, but the keeper was just working off instruction from Bielsa, because just as I said, he knew that if they could turn over possession in a high area, like in a high part of the field, that they have a much better chance of doing damage and getting in on goal. So what Jurgen Klopp is doing with his pressing game is a very similar thing. We're trying to win possession back as high up the field as we can, and then obviously use our pace to get in behind, and it's something that Manchester City do as well. The ref got both decisions correct, said Cameron. Yeah, to be honest, he did, but I still don't think he had a great game yesterday. Thankfully, it didn't cost us, but first two games of the season, I think there's been two pretty poor refereeing performances for our two games, but thankfully it hasn't cost us. And I know opposition fans will look at that and go, fuck you, Michael Oliver gave you an easy penalty, but I thought Michael Oliver was giving Palace a lot yesterday. Marco said, Liverpool are the best team in the world. I'm fully with you, Marco. I'm loving the love, mate. Liverpool is getting calls in their favour now. It's about time, said Frederick Ross. Just going back to last season, we spoke about this before, but there was a study from the University of, was it Glasgow or somewhere? Or Edinburgh. So there was a study with a university, I think ESPN were involved, and Intel, sorry. So this study looked at clear wrong decisions last season in the Premier League, and it worked out that Liverpool were denied 12 points from incorrect decisions last year. So, as you've rightly said, mate, things might look like they're going in our favour this year, but we deserve them because we didn't get the rub of the green last year. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The Raptor is in the building. Can you hear the alarms going off? Raptor, mate, how the hell are you? Great to have you with us. People were asking where the fuck you were, dude. Who else have you got? Pep Linders will improve our passing, said Cameron. Still no word, by the way, that I've seen on who is the assistant manager at Liverpool Football Club, or do we even have one at this moment in time? I'm just assuming that it's Pep Linders, but I mean, I've seen nothing concrete to say that yes, he is the assistant manager, or no, he isn't the assistant manager. How do you become a mod? Basically, people who are mods are people who have been here with us for months, people who have helped us out on many occasions, and people who are consistently watching the show in the chat, and it's just our way of saying a little thank you to them. So anyone who's a mod, you can be sure has been here for a shit long time and has been with us from the start pretty much. ALISSON should do what all keepers do, and that's picking up the ball, not using his feet. Not really sure what you're getting at there, Gareth, mate. The style of football that we play a lot of the time will involve Alisson Becker with the ball at his feet, either taking pressure off the centre backs or the full backs, or starting attacks for us. So I wouldn't worry about him having the ball in his hands, mate. He's going to be a lot more valuable to us with the ball at his feet. Benjamin Dover said, really enjoying the stream, mate. One of the best about. Any chance you could try and fit my name in a song for a laugh? Not off the top of my head, mate. Fucking hell, when did I suddenly become a songwriter on here? Benjamin Dover. Leave it with me, mate. I'll have a think and see if I can come up with something. But thank you for the kind words. That Cruyff turning the ball over the top to Salah was football porn, said Klopp Underpants. It really was. It would have been the best gif ever if Salah had just put the finishing touch to it. It's such a shame, such a fucking shame that he didn't. But I'm not going to give out about Mo because I love Mo. John Rainey said, and thank you for this bit of research, John, said Riola's clients include Lukaku, Pogba, Donnarumma, Mkhitaryan, Balotelli, Kluivert, Sergio Romero and Ibrahimovic, to name but a few. So no shortage of fucking money going in his pocket anyway. You can afford all those greasy kebabs. Who saw Townsend get sent to the chippy in yesterday's game? Says, are you blind, for fuck's sake? Or for fuck's sake, sorry. For fuck's sake. Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? It was payback because he gave the ball away to Townsend earlier on in the game and Townsend rattled the bar. So maybe Naby was just saying, alright, you had your chance now. Off for the echo with you. I'm sending you sideways, buddy. Joe Smith said, Craig, what do you think will happen to Hendo due to the signings of KEITA and Fabinho? Nothing, to be honest, mate. It's going to be a long season and there's going to be plenty of opportunities for everybody. So depending on who we're playing, we might need two more defensively minded midfielders. So we may see Fabinho and Hendo in the same team. But at this moment in time, I would honestly say that I think Hendo is ahead of Fabinho in the pecking order, purely because he's fully up to speed with what Jurgen Klopp wants and Fabinho may still be learning. Cameron said, I agree with you, Craig. He gave away a foul and Mane clearly got the ball. We have, what guys, 40 minutes left on tonight's stream, so if you can stay with us till the end, you're absolute fucking legends. Don't forget, last 15 minutes of the stream, we always go into a little bit of a fun mode where we chat about different topics, so have a think. Actually, we had one last night where we talked about what did we talk about last night? Oh, who would play Jurgen Klopp in a movie, actually, was one that we talked about last night. We also had one where we talked about the size of Maguire's head. We had loads of different ones, so if you can think of anything funny you want to chat about for the last 15 minutes, let me know in the chat. The University of Bath, said Damien, did the study. I think you're right, Damo, thank you. That challenge on Milner was another red card. The referee had a bad game, said James Painter. He's been watching Everton on YouTube. The child who lives in the bin says, yep, the mods really are on fire. They spot a troll from a chat room away. They're fucking excellent. I reckon we have the best mods in the game. I mean, we have the Virgil van Dijks of mods on here. That's why we're Blue Spanner FC. Far Isle said, love to be a fly on the wall when rival team pundits start chattering about how our defence used to be the reliable free goal or two. Them days are certainly gone now. All the chattering about now is shit. We've got to come up against the Reds next week. Fuck, how do we deal with that front three? I mean, we've seen it with Pep. Pep's worried about them, and Pep's one of the best in the business, so good luck to anybody who comes up against the Reds this season, because they're in for one hell of a game. There's bloody trolls everywhere, said Pepper Red. Yeah, but you guys are knocking them out of the park left, right and centre, so well in, guys. Well into our mods. Cameron reckons that I think currently Linders is Klopp's assistant. I don't think Buvac should be coming back. It certainly doesn't look like he's coming back. Nothing as of yet from the club to say that he's definitely gone. Don't be fooled, Craig, said El Chapo. What am I being fooled by? I may have... Don't fall for it, Craig. Oh, the name. I mean, I get his name. Sorry, I get that his name is an absolute piss take. But I'm always up for a bit of a laugh. I think we should just look like we're in control of the game. It's fun to see, not nervous when they attack us. Just seen an amazing kit design on the AA Instagram account. Looks like the dog's bollocks. Oh, just sent an amazing kit design. Excuse me, Robert, to the AA Instagram account. Looks like the dog's bollocks. Do you know what? Over the years, I've seen some Liverpool fans design some absolutely amazing kits, and I've looked at them and wished that they'd been our kits. I mean, some people have really gone to town and made some beautiful kits. Farrell said the NBC highlights on YouTube only show KEITA after the turn, with Martin Tyler's shit musings and underwhelming reaction. Yeah, if Pogba did that, Martin Tyler would only be short of knocking one out at the moment, whipping it out onto the table in front of camera and going, Pogba! What are your predictions against Brighton? Pain. No, in all seriousness, I think 3 or 4 is, call me a cocky fucker, but we should be getting 3 or 4. We should be putting Brighton to bed, showing the Manx how to do it. I do love their manager though, so I don't want to be disrespectful too much to Brighton, because Chris Hughton is one of the good guys in football. Craig, can I have permission to ban about 6 trolls? Permission granted. Hendo has more experience and proven his quality in the World Cup. I do love to know what have I been fooled by, because I'm absolutely fully believed that I can be fooled on here. But I am up for a laugh as well at the same time, so why not? As I told you before, guys, nothing embarrasses me, so if anybody thinks they can come on here and embarrass me with something, they've got the wrong dude, because I just don't feel embarrassment. It's not something that I've ever been worried about. If I look like an idiot, then I look like an idiot, so be it. Craig, will you say Alisson will be better than Reina? If you're playing for Liverpool, what jersey number would you wear? That's a belter of a question. Not the Reina part, that's a great question in itself, but what number? Yes, the first answer, I do think Alisson will be better than Pepe Reina. And that's saying something, because I really rate Pepe Reina. What number would I wear? 13. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'd wear 13. It's my lucky number. And it's a coincidence that it's the number that Alisson is wearing, but yeah, 13 definitely. After Bright, although I should say, sorry Sean to go back, or Stephen, I do like 1 to 11. I do like that, but if we were to go like with the kids, the cool kids these days, and having squad numbers that are outside 1 to 11, because I'm presuming I'm fucking starting, by the way, if I'm picking a squad number, 13 would probably be where I'd go. And bear in mind, I'd be a goalkeeper, so it would be 13 as a goalkeeper, and I wouldn't mind giving up the number 1 to somebody else, because if I'm playing every week, that's all I care about. After Brighton, we're going to play 2 away games against Leicester and Spurs, then back home for Southampton, and away to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, Leicester will be without Jamie Vardy, I think, for that game as well, which is a big boost if we're being honest, because Jamie Vardy is a pain in the arse to play against. The child who lives in a bin said, these streams are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Keep telling the fucking world that, though. Keep letting people know we exist. Jay said, yes, Craig, get in there with the Clubber Lang reference. I was talking to my daughter the other day, Jace. We were talking about films and something came up, and I mentioned the word Rocky to her, and she looked at me like, what's Rocky? And I just thought, I failed as a parent. I have failed as a parent if she doesn't know what Rocky is. Rocky, if anybody hasn't seen Rocky, by the way, if we've got any younger viewers out there, male or female, it doesn't matter. Get on to Rocky. I mean, if you don't watch Rocky and want to go out and take on the world after every film, you just have no heart. I fucking love them Rocky films. As a young man, they were definitely my favourite set of films. I could watch them over and over and over again. Always felt amazing after them. What a film. What a set of films. The team is strong throughout, said Matthew. Stephen Merchant is a belter of a show Cobra for a Klopp. I think that was what I mentioned the other day. He does look like Jurgen Klopp. He just does, like. Ben's name is obviously a troll. Yeah, he absolutely is, but I mean, it's still fun at the same time. I mean, Benjamin Dover, come on, it's a funny name. Whether he's a troll or not, it's a funny name. Vinny, you certainly have, mate. Ben Huddleston, or Hiddleston, is it? Sorry, is the Raptors call. ALISSON was passed to last night when he could have turned a player but didn't, which shows he makes the wise decision even though he's capable. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ryan, as well, because at the moment where he had the ball in that position, I was expecting him to do a bit of a Cruyffy as well, but you're right, he didn't. He did made the right decision, and he passed it back left across to, was it Andy Robertson or was it Junior Wijnaldum who had dropped back in? But I know the moment you're talking about. Klopp's Underpants said, tonight's question suggestion, which player when they retire will be the fat ex-player like Barnes and Ruddock? I'm loving that. That's a great show. That is a great show. Yeah, we'll definitely be coming back to that one in 15 minutes, Mr. Klopp's Underpants. Well in. Garrick, our very own Garrick, says, mods on here are much better than the ones on the United sit down. They banned me for saying glory, glory, Nottingham Forest. Probably upset him, to be fair. A little bit too close to home. Craig, put KEITA, Milner, Henderson, Gini and Fabinho in order of quality. Okay, let's have a go at that one then. If I'm going from worst to best, how about we go that way? I would go, at this moment in time, Fabinho, Gini, Milner. No, I'm going to start again. Fabinho, Gini, Henderson, Milner, KEITA. If I'm going on current form, that's the way I'd go anyway. And I've no doubt that there'll be a lot of people with different views. But yeah, that's how I'd go. Fabinho, Gini, Henderson. You know what? You fucking nailed it for me. I'll just go backwards from the way you've wrote it there, Joe. So just flip it around, start with Fabinho and work your way forwards. Martin Tyler wasn't commentator last night, says Ryan. I think he was saying on ESPN or something, mate. Not on Sky. I think he was working for somewhere in America or something. I think that's what he was talking about. What's your opinion on Shane Duffy or Sean Duffy? Personally, I think he's underrated. Are we talking about the Brighton centre back here? Or am I missing something, Cameron? Just confirm that one for me, buddy, will you? Even if Mr. Benjamin Dover is a troll, he's still saying brilliant stream, Craig. Keep it coming, pal. So I'm having that. Do you know what? If he keeps putting in those kind words, you can stay on here, Ben. You're welcome here anytime. Last night's commentators in Sky were the two Allens, both clueless. One of them said Liverpool finished 5th last season and it all went downhill from there. Thankfully, John, because I do the watch-alongs, I can't really have the volume up because, I can't have it being picked up by the mic and, copyright and all that stuff. So I don't have to listen to the commentary. I just get to watch the game and talk to you guys at the same time. So I am spared some of the shit punditry at times. The Raptor said, guys, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Can somebody give me a number, actually? Where are we on that one? Can we get a number on the likes? And if you are watching, guys, and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. We hope you're enjoying the stream. And we will be back tomorrow with another one, of course. But there's still 30 minutes left to go on tonight's stream. Plenty of time for lots more fun. Plenty of time for lots more Liverpool chat. Pat Botzer, good night to you, mate. And we will chat very, very soon. Thank you for joining us on tonight's stream. Tom is in. Tom, how the hell are you, buddy? Tom said, Craig and all you LFC legends, I can't type as I'm driving home. Just stop to say hi and up the motherfucking Reds, which is the perfect way to drop in and say hello, Tom. So drive safely, buddy, and we will talk to you soon. I think Klopp has reduced the pace that our team attack. I'm seeing after the Palace match. I can see a good game management after taking the lead. Hope he can maintain that, says Roderick Sterling. Yeah, that's why he brought Henderson on. He brought Hendo on to manage the game, as you said. One thing I will say about Jordan Henderson is that I think he can set the tempo of our play better than anybody else. And you see when he came on last night, immediately when he came on the field, he was barking instructions at people and letting them know to keep their heads, to maintain possession. And if the chance arises, then of course take a chance to go forward. But game management was definitely the plan when Henderson came on. 50 more subs for 3.6k, said the child who lives in a bin. So we're ticking along rather nicely, guys. Thank you so much. But there's still time. If you are watching, as I said, don't forget to hit that sub button, guys. The more new subscribers we have, the better, and you're all very welcome to the channel. Ben, no problem, mate. And Lee said, Ben might be a positive troll if there is such a thing. Robert said, tell you what, I'm going to miss these live streams when I start my phase 1 training. You'll always be able to go into playback there, Robert, to be fair. They'll always be uploaded there. And we will be doing shorter ones as well as the season goes on. And I did make a promise to somebody to try and start a little bit earlier when the kids are back to school. So I will do my best to do that. We're always trying to adapt to what you guys want. 96, 94. So we're getting close. We're getting close. We will hit 100. Well, we will hit 100 likes on this stream, which is always the target when we start. So thank you, guys. Sing like Van Halen's Panama Allison. I don't know that song, so I won't be singing it, I'm afraid. Frederick, mate, sorry. Allison or De Gea? Oh, that's a really tough question. I still rate De Gea as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but I'm happy with having Alisson, so let's keep Alisson. But you know, I'm not going to be silly and say De Gea isn't excellent. Jay said, I think I heard one of the Sky commentators saying that Fabinho prefers playing at centre back. Tells you everything, Jace, mate, doesn't it? I mean, fucking hell, outside of Carragher and Neville, there's a whole lot of useless there at Sky for the commentary. Click and Go was number 100 in the likes. Well in, sir. Niall said 99. Click and Go was 100. So thank you very much for that one. 101. So well in, guys. We've managed to hit our target again tonight. Thank you so much for that. But there is still time to subscribe, guys. If you're out there and you're watching, you haven't yet hit that button. Owen said, Craig, I rate Hendo, but he's always plays it back when he doesn't need to. If he played it forward, people would realise how good he was. That's a myth. The whole Hendo only playing the ball back thing is a myth. I think I've seen, God, who's the guy that, Andrew Beasley, does all the amazing statistics and stuff. I'm sure I've seen something from him before that breaks this down. Henderson is there to do a specific job. If he wasn't doing exactly what Jurgen Klopp wants, he wouldn't be getting on the field. I love Jordan Henderson. I really think he's an underrated player. His job isn't to be the creative force. That's not his job in the team. If there's a pass on, or if there is an opportunity to play a long diagonal ball over the top, he'll try it. But first and foremost, Jordan Henderson's job in there is to win possession, to keep things ticking over. Think of him like a Jorginho. Chelsea, his job is to just play the short little passes, keep the ball moving, set the tempo with the team, keep us on the front foot, and mainly keep possession, which is really important in the style of football that we play. We don't want to be giving away the ball, particularly in the middle of the field. We don't want to give people a run at our defence. The Raptor says, Craig. Pepper, nope, skip that one. Hi guys, I have to say Trent Alexander-Arnold's crossing isn't great. I'm changing your words there from shit to isn't great, monkey. I'd give Klein a chance, to be honest. I get where you're going with Trent. His crossing hasn't been as good as we expected in the first 2 games, but I don't know, mate. Maybe I'm being a bit too soft on him as well. I get where you're coming from, and if I'm listening to Klopp's interview and we're going from that, he said that he thought the fullbacks could have done about 70% better. So I don't know. I like Trent, but I also like Kleiny, but I prefer Trent. But I get where you're coming from. I can't argue with you because what you're saying is true. His crossing hasn't been great, but he still hasn't conceded a goal. So from that sense, he's doing his job. Are you blind for fuck's Ake? Wants to know where's everybody from in the stream. Joe Smith is from Greece. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the area, buddy. Somebody else say Wigan. Ben is from Wigan. Craig, what are your thoughts on Fabinho? I'll try and work him into the team slowly but surely. My thoughts are exactly as you're saying. He will be worked in slowly and surely. He has to get up to speed with what Klopp wants. He's there to do a specific job, and I've no doubt he'll be a great addition to the team. Cameron said, Anfield Agenda is growing, Craig. I remember when you had 40 subs. Keep up the good work, buddy. You remember that as well, mate. I enjoyed it as much then as I do now, but keeping growing is always the plan. I love looking at Social Blade, which lets you know your projections based on where you are, and the cheeky fuckers even give you a grade. Like, so I think ours at the minute was a B- or something like that, which of course makes me want to go and try and get an A. But I do love looking at the projections of where we're going to be in a year, 2 years, and stuff like that. And it is funny. I mean, in the last 30 days, we've got 2,000 subscribers, so that's amazing. I can't tell you guys how appreciative we are. Far Isle is in Hollywood, Florida. And as I said, mate, I really do hope we can go to a game when I head over in October. But of course, I do understand if you're busy. Don't feel pressurised or anything, mate. I know you said you were 243 miles away or something like that. Rap, I did get that video, mate. Sorry, I meant to say that to you. I pissed myself laughing at it. And you know what, it had me wondering as well. I was thinking, I wonder if he paid for that. And it's not a pint, it's a bottle, which was the other thing that was going through my head. ALISSON has the skill of a Brazilian as a goalkeeper, said Lee, which is absolutely true. I live in the sun and the heat and the stormy and dark, says Far Isle. Klein is too negative, always passing sideways, says Simon. The Raptor said Trent grows in as he plays, he just takes a bit to start is all. Far Isle said, think Trent will play a few more games and get into the groove, which I think as well, to be fair. It is, like, we're being critical of players here who are still doing a good job. That's how good we are at this moment in time. Joe Smith said, Craig, my legs hurt. Okay. Just relax then, take it easy. Where are we? Read that one. The Raptor says, fucking hell, people are already starting to pick holes in our fucking brilliant team already. I thought it wouldn't take long. Come on, lads. Sheffield is where Vinny's from. Jay said, Trent is young, he's going to be inconsistent, so his delivery won't always be on point. However, in his drop-off, he's still impressing and we're keeping clean sheets. When you cannot argue with that, we still haven't conceded a league goal. So whatever the defenders are doing, if they aren't, if their attacking prowess isn't up to 10 yet, they're still defending, which is first and foremost their job. And if they keep keeping clean sheets, they got to keep starting, surely. Lee is from Bootle, so right in the heart of Liverpool. If there was one player Liverpool could sign in January, who would it be and for what position? Evan asks. I still think I'd like that number 10 or the wide forward. So for me it would be an attacking player. And look, Fekir was the player we all wanted, so that's probably who I'd go back in for in January. If I could pick anybody realistically, like if money was an object here and we could go and pick somebody, being semi-realistic, Dybala would do me rather nicely. Anybody else have an answer, by the way, for Evan's question? Do whack it into the chat. Paul said, from Wigan but living in Torrevieja, Spain at the moment, which is a nice part of the world, mate, as I sort of been to Torrevieja, so I do understand that, and I hope you understand how fucking jealous I am at this moment in time that you're over there in beautiful Spain in the sunny weather. And Farrell said, will do, Craig. Orlando is not far at all. I'll also be heading down to Tampa at some point as well. We're not staying down there, but we will be heading down to Busch Garden for a few days. So whichever one is closer, buddy. But I'd love to get to an Orlando game while I'm over there. Craig, will you be doing a meet soon? Said, are you blind for fuck's sake? It's something we thought about before. Next time we go over to Liverpool, we'll definitely meet up with anyone that's over there. I'm not gonna lie, live shows are definitely something we want to do. definitely something I want to do at some point. It's one of the main reasons I started doing this. I love to push myself out of my comfort zone. And doing an Anfield Agenda, a little live show in and around the Liverpool game would be amazing. Whether it be just stuff at half time and after the game. It's definitely something I've always wanted to do. So if anybody out there owns a bar and they want to get us over, we're cheap. I can promise you that much. And it's something we'd love to do. But same with a meet-up. Definitely something we'd love to do. It's just a matter of making sure, if we're in Ireland, of course, it can only be Irish people. If we're in the UK, then you're expecting people to travel. So it's definitely something we want to do. We want to not just interact with Reds on here. We do want to shake hands and meet Reds, buy you guys a drink, and you get to know everybody, because that's the reason this channel exists. Jace reckons that Julian Brandt would be his choice for a player to bring in, which is no secret. Jurgen Klopp is certainly a fan of Julian Brandt. Farwell's off to bring Woof Woof for a walk, the nightly walk, so well in, mate. Right guys, we're into the last 15 minutes now, so let's go for a bit of crack, a bit of a laugh to end the stream. So the great suggestion came in earlier on, that was which Liverpool player is going to turn out to be like the John Barnes or the Razor Ruddock, who's going to turn out to be the fat player after they finish. So any suggestions, whack them into the chat. I'm going to have a little think as well along the way, but it was a belter of a question, and there's no doubt that Razor certainly hasn't kept his physique as the years have gone by. Robert said, if you could bring back any legends in their prime, put them in the squad, who would it be? I think we've answered this one a few times, buddy. Fowler, always Fowler. Drop Fowler in the number 9. Even though I love Firmino, I'd have Fowler. Most natural finisher I've ever seen. Monkey's bringing back Gerrard if he had to choose. My dad owns a bar in the centre of Liverpool. I can get you there for free if you want to. Yeah, definitely. We'll do a live show at any point, mate. But obviously I'm always a bit, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Skeptical. When I'm on here and I don't know somebody and they're offering us bars in the middle of Liverpool. It all sounds a little bit iffy. But yeah, it's definitely something we want to do. Sincerely, like, it is something we want to do. Paul Turner said, I know we could have had a good meet-up if we knew earlier. Never say, when you're over again, mate, let me know. I think it's talking about Tara Vieka. Ronald said, it's unlikely I'll get to meet anybody in this friendly chat. I think so. Ronald, where was it you were from again, mate? It wasn't Jamaica, it was it Jamaica or was it Barbados? Either way, mate, don't rule out fucking meeting me. Either of those locations is definitely somewhere I could end up at some point in my life. So who have we got suggestions? Shaqiri will be chunky, said Mickey fella. Vinny is bringing back Rush. Klopp's underpants reckons that Salah could turn into be a bit of a fatty. Interesting. I'm just thinking through the team now myself and thinking, who do I think might be a bit of a chunky monkey when they finish. Mignolet, nah, he's definitely too strict on himself. There isn't many I can think of, to be fair. Milner being a chunky monkey man sipping on his tea, said Robert. Mane. Hugh reckons Mane is going to pile on the pounds when he finishes playing. Interesting. Firmino will pack on the pounds. He loves the lush, said Niall. And Jace is going with Bobby as well. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, he'll be filling his face and piling on the pounds as soon as he retires. He's already come back from holidays a couple of times with a little pot belly, said Jace. I didn't realise that about Bobby. I know that, who said it before, was it, I think it might have been Raphael Honigstein or somebody said that that Eden Hazard likes an El Burger or two as well, and that's his vice, is that he likes a bit of the bad stuff in regards to food. So what I suggest, I didn't realise that though. That's really blown me away about Firmino. I didn't realise he likes his grub so much. Lovren as well. I seen somebody suggest there. Who was it? Ryan suggested Dejan Lovren. I think Lovren's probably too vain to put on the pounds. That's just my own thoughts on it. Hendo's going to be a tank when he retires, says Megan Anki. He's definitely too strict on himself to let himself go. Yeah, I can imagine. Hendo doesn't even drink alcohol as far as I know. So I think he's definitely going to be strict on himself. Moreno will pile up, says Goodbody. Is it weird when you mention Moreno there, I automatically start thinking about Prince Nassim Hamed. I don't know why I'm associating Alberto Moreno with Prince Nassim Hamed, but I mean, there is prime example of somebody who's retired and put on the pounds. Great stream, Craig. Good night, guys. See you tomorrow, said Joe Smith. Here's one for you, Craig. Imagine a Tubby Mignolet. Yeah, just more of me to hate, Rapture, mate. More of me to not like, shall I say. Hate's probably the wrong word. Are you blind for fuck's sake? He said, I heard that Nangolan was left out of the Belgium squad because he smokes too much and the manager asked him to stop, but he said no. There are still a few professional footballers that smoke, to be honest. I remember, who was it that went off to play in Italy and they were talking about this? God, one of the English players who went off, I can't remember who it was, he said that he was shocked at the amount of players in Europe that still smoked. What about Klopp? Asks Vinny. I don't know, maybe Klopp could pile on the pounds, possible. But he's not playing at the minute, so there's no reason why he needs to keep in shape. Monkey said, if I had to choose one country for Liverpool to play a pre-season friendly in next season, which would be the one? I'd love to see Liverpool and South Africa playing against the Kaiser Chiefs. Ireland, every year. I want Liverpool to come back to Ireland every single year, of course, so we can go and watch them in Dublin. Peter Kravitz, Jamin reckons, would be the one who'll pile on the pounds. Prince Nassim Hamed looks like he swallowed a space hopper. Oh, that's a belter. Well in, Damo. That's a fucking belter. Berbatov smoked. Bobby's no Ricky Hatton, but he definitely loves his end of season indulgences. Although this summer, probably because of the World Cup, he kept in shape. Yeah, Ricky certainly did like to go up in between fights. He certainly did balloon up, and look, at the end of his career he has as well. But yeah, that was funny. The space hopper comment still got me chuckling. Are you blind for fuck's sake? I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Klopp smoked 2 or 3 each day in the evening, and Lewandowski smoked from Munich, caught on photo, said Click and Go. There's been a few of them, wasn't there? Wasn't Jack Wilshere, I think, caught smoking. Rooney was caught smoking. Joe Hart, I think, was caught smoking. There's a few players who've been caught smoking. You greedy bugger, Craig, said Monkey. I'm fucking defo piling on the pounds. I mean, I'm doing it now and I'm not even a professional footballer, so I mean, I love me some pastry. I've said cream cakes for me are my big indulgence, and cheese and onion crisps, of course, because I'm Irish. It's in my blood. Nangolan of Roma smokes, very good in midfield as well. He's not a Roma player anymore though, buddy. He is an Inter Milan player now, isn't he? Alisson is the next Tyson Fury, said El Chapo. I can imagine that because of the beard and all as well. Imagine Alisson as a Tyson Fury. Alisson is the next Yashin. Dejan Mike, he's already shaved his head. Maybe he wants to be the ultimate fat Croatian brew. Hang on, relax now with this. I have my head shaved. I am fat, you're right, but don't associate all fat people with shaved heads. I like Dejan with a shaved head as well. I think it suits him. Guys, you know what? My voice is starting to crack up here. I'm going, what am I going at? 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I'm going to call it a night if that's okay. It is probably 7 or 8 minutes earlier, but I do have to edit some podcasts and get them up. So keep an eye out tomorrow for the Between the Lines podcast. That'll be up around tea time tomorrow, so about 5 or 6. There was myself, there was Jack, there was Christian, and there was Dave on this week's one. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another stream about 9:45. Looking ahead to the weekend then, we'll of course be doing the watch along at the game against Brighton. We'll have a bit of a preview show. We'll have our post-match show as well. We'll have the Cop Council podcast on Sunday. So lots and lots and lots of content coming up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to check out the Patreon stuff and all that as well if you want to help us out. I'll whack that into the chat one more time before we finish up. And of course, check out anfieldagenda.com, our brand new website. Until tomorrow, guys, thank you all so much for tonight's stream, and up the motherfucking Reds.